Master Chief, Spartan 117, and you're tuned in to Next Podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.
I'm playing Fall Guys.
Fall Guys. Oh my goodness. Yo, everybody, what is going on, people?
Tenderoni over here.
Welcome to another episode of the Next Podcast. Yes, we are live. I don't think the panel knew it, but yeah, we're live, people. It is another Thursday. Of course, it is prime time. So, where else are you going to be on a Thursday at 8 p.m.? Right here. Before we get into it, let me do the YouTube business real quick. If you don't mind, just hit that thumbs up button for us. Not only that, share the show wherever you go to talk games. Wherever there are gamers out there talking about games, talking about gaming news, throw that link in there. Let them know that they need to be here for the next hour and a half, 2 hours or so, because we are going in on some of the hottest topics that drop throughout the week. We can't get into the topics without getting into the intros. And as you can see from the thumbnail, guys, we do have a special guest. And like I always say, we tend to save the best for last. So I will introduce our guest last. So first on the list, we're going to go to the West Coast. That is right. Some people might call him Scuba Steve. Some people might call him Angry Otter. Other people know him as Dark Optimus. What is up, brother?
I'm sinking into the ocean, man. That's what's happening right now.
I'm waiting,
dude.
man. I'm checking the map every day. I'm like, all right, he's safe right now.
He'll be. You check the map on Thursdays. Let's be honest, because you're like, is he going to be in the podcast or is he not? Right? You're like, okay, it's still there.
I think Midway checks the map every day just to see if a spot is open on the show.
A spot is open, yeah. Because I'm leaving this podcast for four guys, and he's leaving four guys for this podcast. So even trade.
That's an even trade. I'll take that. I didn't expect
man,
that. Did you?
I'm happy to be here, dude. I'm ready to get into these topics, and we got a really special guest. So let's get to it, dude.
Yeah, and shout out to you for hanging out with me during the State of Play, man. That was
yeah,
a lot
for
of
sure,
fun,
man. Dude.
Let's see.
I figured you were going to be the only one in there, so.
Oh.
What's that mean? I don't know what that means, but I don't know what it means by that.
I'm saying you don't have any friends.
I might not have any friends. I have a lot of acquaintances, though. So, I think 3 acquaintances equal a friend. So I'm in pretty good standing. No, that's the way I look at it. I don't know. But yo, guys, what in the world? Let's go to the East Coast. Let's go to New England. That's right, in the same state that I live in. Believe it or not, it is the home state, of the hashtag Crispy Truth. Crispy Bomb, what is going on, brother?
Oh, what is up, everybody? And Bot mandated that we play second Extinction, so we'll get into that. But yeah, I'm actually glad he mandated that. Thanks, buddy.
Well, I'm glad you're glad. I might be mad at myself a little bit. I don't know, but we're gonna find out. Pop off, man. Yeah. But all right, let's go. Next on the list, coming live from the 405, and if you are a long-standing fan of this show, you know he has been here from the beginning, and I don't think he's gone crazy yet. K Mega, what is up, bro?
Oh man, I get it all out of me before and after I leave the show. So before the show starts, I should say. So therefore, but I am Batty. So that is reason why I've been here for so long. But anyway, now glad to be here. Man, good matches right before I came onto the show playing some second Extinction. Man, the game is absolutely fun. I'm sure we're going to be talking about it. So yeah, man, just another, welcome our guest, and man, just ready to kick in and just get the show started, man. I'm pouring my little crown right now, and we're gonna have a good show.
I think that's how he keeps his sanity. Like during the show, he's drinking and playing games. I think that's how.
I didn't drink last week. I didn't drink the last
No?
2 weeks. No.
Oh, he didn't
He's
say
trying
he
to say
wasn't
that
playing
he's an
games.
alcoholic. Is that what
Yeah,
you're talking
that sounds like that. He's trying to say that I'm
Call it
alcoholic.
what you want to call it. K Megas
I mean,
and alcoholic.
Wow.
Wow.
Jeez.
All right, guys. Next on the list, coming from the Lone Star State, and you will know that from his icon when he starts talking. Yo, shout out to my brother Predator. Predator, what is up, bro?
Not much, but I actually forgot to change my icon for today's show because I was telling y'all some stories. But next week I'll change it. That's fine. Nothing going on.
So you had an idea, is what you're saying?
I did, but it's fine.
It'll still work next week, though.
No.
No, but I need to have him use it anyway.
I'll just do something next week, something different. I like to change it up. So yeah, that's it, man. Let's get into this shit today.
Yeah, no doubt. And then last but certainly not least, that is right, we do save the best for last. A first-time special guest. He is a pillar in this gaming community. When you go out there on Twitter and stuff, he supports just about every podcast that I know and every panel that I love. Not only that, he is a part of the Living Split Screen podcast, one of the hottest, newest podcasts in the community, run by my brother Steel Rain. So it's Steel Rain and this man here, Pong Soul. What is up, brother?
Long time coming, Xbox. It's amazing to be here. Except for Crispy, I've never been on a show with Pred, yourself, or Optimus, or even K Mega. So man, this is a honor and a privilege. Obviously, I've been watching your shows for a very long time, sir, and respect the hell out of what you do here. So again, pleasure to be here, and thank you for the invite so much.
Oh man, no doubt. Yeah, it's definitely been a long time coming, man. I love what you and Steel are doing. Absolutely love
Thank
that
you.
podcast. And dude, the love and support that you show, the shows throughout the community, man. It is absolutely spectacular, dude. Keep doing your thing, man. You are blowing up in the community. I see you absolutely everywhere.
Dude, I appreciate it. I love this community, man. Ever since I decided to jump in, the community itself has responded, and it's just been a blast, man. I've had so much fun. Like, I never expected to be doing this. This was not my end goal at all. I just wanted to talk about the next gen systems coming out. That was it. And now here I am podcasting. So, but again, the love and support from everybody coming back has been absolutely out of this world.
Nice. And shout out to my brother Elemental Pio. What is up, bro? I feel like I haven't seen you in such a long time. Hitting up that super chat. He said, thanks for being the real deal. Never changed, bro. Brother, thank you so much. I absolutely respect that. You will get nothing but my honest opinions and what I feel is common sense with the gaming news. That's what I've strived to bring to you guys ever since this channel first started so long ago. But guys, we got to get into this. All right, so let's start with Second Extinction, because what was it, about 2 days ago or so? Second Extinction went live on Xbox. It is in game preview, but it is also in Game Pass, and I know that's the way I downloaded it. I did a few rounds. I got some playtime in on it, and enough to definitely form an opinion. But I don't think you guys want to hear my opinion now. I am going to go to my special guest here, Pong. Pong, have you had a chance to try out Second Extinction yet?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Steel and I played around on it for about, probably 2-3 hours the other night. Absolutely. This is what video gaming is about. I love these style of games because it is just pure fun. And we know it's not the full release yet, so I wasn't expecting perfection here in any way, shape, or form. And of course, there are some, issues within the game itself. But you want to talk about just having a really awesome time going around and shooting a bunch of dinosaurs that want to do nothing but eat you nonstop. this is it. And it's especially tough if you're going to try to go solo. I found that out real quick. I did pop it on in the morning when it downloaded, and I tried it out real quick. And man, did I get mobbed fast and hard. So that was interesting. And I was like, yeah, maybe we need to bring some other guys into this. So Steele and I connected after work, and we rolled through it. And man, I mean, this thing's got layers too. Once you start opening up the other options, to customize your weapons and, that kind of stuff, it gets a little deep. You got some skills thrown in there, and some perks. And then I haven't even opened up the contracts yet, so I can't wait to try out the contracts because I think that's level 5. But yeah, this is just pure fun, unadulterated fun, out the gates. And I can see what they're going to go for here. And hopefully, if they keep expanding this game is well worth it. I'm in fact, I'm going to play it around with a little bit more, but I think I'm going to lay down the $25 they're asking for it. Because I think that is money well spent here. I think I'm going to put a lot of hours into this game. And again, this is what video gaming is about. And sometimes we forget that. And it's interesting when games like this come out and at least for me, it reminds me of all the reasons why when I was a kid, I just absolutely love video game. And so when that comes around, I definitely celebrate it, and I can't wait to play some more.
Nice. Now, brother, when you said, it's about pure fun and stuff like that, I remember there was a certain game back on the 360, and it got a sequel as well that people said the same thing, and that is Left 4 Dead. And Left 4 Dead did definitely take off, had a really active community. I feel like this is a Left 4 Dead with dinosaurs. What do you think about that idea in terms of like the gameplay style and mechanics and whatnot? Do you agree? Do you think it's something different that it might be similar to?
No, I agree. I think it definitely takes influence. I mean, a lot of games when they come out, these co-op style games, these co-op shooters, you're going to have influence from Left 4 Dead because it's probably the biggest game in that genre. When you think about it, that's why people are waiting for Back 4 Blood. I mean, to come out again. I mean, obviously, there's a huge fan base waiting for it, and this gives you a taste of this. I would definitely not say it's as of this point what we're seeing right now. It's certainly not as polished as a Left 4 Dead. I think there are some, some balancing issues that they do need to work on, which, again, most games that come out nowadays do have these types of issues. But I definitely think it's got Left 4 Dead with dinosaur vibes for sure. I mean, it's going to definitely take from that and then add its own spin to it, which it does as well. Again, Left 4 Dead, I think was a little bit more, this feels a little bit more open than Left 4 Dead ever did, right? Because Left 4 Dead, you were running through what I felt like were smaller areas, whereas this feels more open world where you can run wherever you want to.
Well, they even have free roam on it, like.
Yeah, exactly. They do have a free roam, but even within the map itself, if you they give you different threat levels within each area, which is interesting because those threat levels are real. You can go from a nice green safe area to a really volatile, high, packed with dinosaur kind of area real quick and not even realize it. They give you a warning, but everything looks cool, and then all of a sudden you walk in. Next thing you know, you got 30 dinos on you, right? And we're talking about 2 bulls and all this kind of stuff. It ain't no joke, man. So, but yeah, definitely to go back to your question, I think it does take from Left 4 Dead. And like I said, I can see where they're going with this. And if the expansions work out, how they're going to expand this out with more characters, I could see more characters, could see more weapons, maybe even another class thrown in there. I definitely could see this thing taking off. It's the perfect game for Game Pass. This is a style of game that Game Pass was created for. Yes, Game Pass works with any type of game, but this game right here is why. You put a drop a game like this into it, you allow 20 some million people to get eyes on it right now. And you're going to get a certain percentage of people that it clicks with if you've got any type of quality, and you instantly have a player base, which is what this type of game absolutely has to have. It has to have that established player base so that you can hop in anytime. If you don't have friends, you can find a party real quick, this is what it was made for. And we're seeing more and more of this kind of success. I've seen a lot of people talk about this game, and hopefully it continues, because I want more. So
Yo, shout out to Elemental PO, says they should let you ride the dinos, man. Like, it's in game preview, so you never know.
what is this, Ark?
Yeah.
Are we doing Ark now? Come on.
Dude, everybody will be trying to like get the T-Rex, man. Pong, have you fought the T-Rex yet?
Yes. Fought the T-Rex. I actually posted a clip on Twitter, taking it down with actual melee. Got him stunned enough and ran out of ammo in my Gatling gun and ran up to him and hit him a bunch of times and took him down while Steel was hitting him from far away. So that worked out well. It's cool.
Nice.
Yep.
I will say when it comes down to it, and I know this is kind of blasphemous in the community we're in, I was never really a Left 4 Dead fan in terms of that game. So,
That's dangerous to say.
yeah, it is. This game,
Danger.
I will say it's not necessarily for me. Like I can tell that there's going to be a player base to this game. All right, I can tell that this game is going to be supported. That there, if it takes off the way Left 4 Dead did, it could get absolutely insane. Because I know people to this day that still play Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 faithfully, absolutely faithfully. But I will say one of my favorite things to do when I was playing the game is when I was calling in ammo or stuff like that. When I was calling in drops, I was doing my best to make sure the drops would drop on dinosaurs.
Yep, you got to.
Dude, that was like I was having a blast doing that. So whenever K Mega was yelling for ammo, as soon as I had it, I was like, "Yo, I got you, bro." And like I would aim for like a group of dinos that were sitting there just waiting to pounce.
Now it makes sense why you were down all the time, Xbot. If that's the case, that's all you were trying to do was drop odds.
No, I was shooting my gun
not
as
actually
well.
play the game.
The truth comes out.
Maybe that's the reason why you were dying all the time.
Now we know.
The guest is doing the crime right here.
I'm glad that he exposed
It's like he's
himself
meant for
on
next
that.
podcast, man. As soon as I say something, you just pounce on me. That is what panel members do here. Speaking of panel members, Crispy, like I just told you, Left 4 Dead type games, not really my bag, baby. But I think you were gushing a little bit over this, man. What were your thoughts about Second Extinction, bro?
Well, I just think you're not good at Left 4 Dead type games. That's my opinion.
I beat Left 4 Dead 1 and 2.
Okay, by yourself? You can't do that in this game. You got to play with other people.
Oh, yo, the first time I went into this game, I went in by myself, and the first time I saw a Triceratops, it whooped my ass.
Yeah, dude.
Horribly.
Well, the one thing I'll say that I've noticed, and I've only played for like an hour and a half, is that it's very easy to pick up, which is good for Game Pass. If you go through the tutorial, it gives you really quick, and they leave the prompts up there unless you change it in the settings. So for me, going from Outriders to Gears or this and that, like Gears is like riding a bicycle. This game is, especially being first person, is like not my jam, but I love it already. Like after an hour, I'm like, man, like, these they act like animals, and once you learn their tendencies of each, I call them raptor variants just off of playing like an hour and a half.
Dude,
and like
the ones I call the stone ones that block you
that,
from the front.
no, but they burrow underground.
Yes.
And I'm like, yo, what? I'm like,
They
all of a
come up
sudden
with
the
some type of
motherfucker
side
pops up in my
karate
head.
spinning kick with their tail.
And then they put their arms up like they're boxing and they block your shots. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Those ones are fucking with me right now. But besides that, like everything else is pretty predictable. The Triceratops definitely, like, that thing hones in on you. And I'm using the character that you can kind of dash back and forth like really hard. And that thing will still, like, it will be running one way and just turn. And I'm like, man, this AI is like really good in this game. The visuals are really good. I mean, this is considered a AA game for the most part. And, I saw Havoc. I saw, Microsoft Azure, PlayFab. is powering it, which I think we're going to see a lot more games do that, because this game runs really good. Like, yes, I've seen glitches and stuff like that, but for being in preview, it runs really good. And I was surprised how the shooting felt and everything. And, you know, once I got used to, like, you know, the speed of it and how the, you know, I'm just going to call them animals because there's so many different dinosaurs in it. At this point, they're just all animals and they're just trying to kill you. That's all they're trying to do. and it's just, it gets a little hectic at times because you're like, you're trying to help your fellow, you know, your fellow player or you know.
You try to help your teammates? That's amazing.
Well, you know how I help them? I would go towards them and attract all of the dinosaurs towards me because I was usually playing as the quicker character. And that's how I like, and I would have like 7, 8, even 20 at one point sitting in front of me. And I'm like, how am I going to do this? Well, I'm just going to move and be smarter than them. And that's all I could do. And yeah, like something would come behind me and hit me. And then the ones that shoot the acid at you, I'm like, you mother trucker, I'm going to kill you because I don't like you. But I think a lot of people ignore like this, you know, equip the stim, especially if you're playing with like only yourself or 2 people. If you have the stim, it will still give you health as you know, even if you're getting hit. And then you can just stop randomly and you'll at least get half your health back or something like that. A lot of people are ignoring that. You don't have to have the whole stim go through. It'll still give you some kind of health. And then also, like, a lot of people are ignoring their abilities already. I can see that because there's, you know, you hit the left and right bumper and you have an ability that you can use, and that can help.
My character, when I hit that, like the screen turned red on the edges, and I was supposed to deal more damage with my weapons.
Yeah, dude, like I melted like 5, 6 dinosaurs in like a second. But it's only like a 10-second thing. It's kind of like what Outriders does to you. Like you have all these perks and everything, but they only give you like a 10-second window to use them. That's kind of what they're doing with this because they don't want you to be OP. You know what I mean? Like that takes the fun out of it. Like if you just start melting like an entire horde of dinosaurs and like, you know, a whole clip of like a machine gun or something, that's kind of stupid. So, you know, I think they're, and this is the beauty of it. This is only in preview, people. I mean, the game looks really good. It plays really well. I've seen glitches when you go through the campaign and everything else. I've seen that, but it's in freaking preview. This game is truly multiplayer centric. And I said this,
yes,
Xbox is going after multiplayer centric games, and that's what they're doing. And this is a prime example. Even when we get the Ascent, which is a top-down, you know, a type game, is going to, you know, be multiplayer centric, in my opinion. And you're going to have a tough time if you try to roll solo. But that's where it gets you in the party with friends, talking shit to each other, saying, I got to pick you up like K-Mega was doing to you, or, you know, vice versa. And that banter and everything else, it ends up being funny, and you know,
and the best part, Crispy, the best part is it's no longer, hey, did you guys buy this game? It's, hey, did you download this game?
yes,
because everybody who's got Game Pass has it. That's the beautiful part.
Well,
it's a dirty word, though.
When they first showed the game, like, because there was nothing about it going to Game Pass or whatever, I'm like, that looks like a cool game for people. I wasn't really gonna. You know, it didn't really have my interest or anything like that. But when they said it was going into Game Pass, that's when I was like, I'm gonna download it and try it out. See, and that's something right there with Game Pass. Like, you know, I didn't really have an interest in this game in the beginning, but since it was going to Game Pass, it's like, why not download it and give it a try? You never know. You might have just, you know, your opinion might change when you start actually playing the game. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's what happened to me, Bot. Like you kind of were like, you have to play it. And I'm like, dude, I'm kind of knee deep in Outriders right now because I've been trying to like basically solo it. Because it's like when you're solo, it's so challenging, but it's also super rewarding when you actually get through that part of, you know, what you're trying to do. And I'm like, I could not play this game by myself. You know, second extension, I just couldn't. Like, I was like, this is too much. Like, there's too many enemies around you, and they come from all different sides. The AI is pretty ridiculous in that game. I gotta say already, like it's not predictable. It's only predictable that they are animals and they just want to eat you. And they strike at you very quickly and everything else.
Mhm.
That is the only predictableness about it. Other than that, they come from everywhere. And I don't there's no spawn. Remember the spawn points for you go and play Horde or something like that. There's always a spawn point. Like I don't know where the spawn points are in this game. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty crazy.
With Raptors, at least I know when there's objectives like you have to go to the hangar or stuff like that, they do have kind of like these mounds that the Raptors come out of, and you can shoot them and you can destroy them, and you would think like it would lessen the amount of Raptors, but then you got Raptors coming out of the bushes, running down the mountains, like, and you're completely surrounded anyway. So
yeah.
I think it just takes away them from spawning right where your objective is, but they come from the environment all around.
Yeah.
The funny thing, Crispy, you said about playing solo, which I gotta go to my brother K Mega, because K Mega, talking to him last night, he said he went through a couple rounds solo. So K Mega, it is time for your thoughts and opinions on Second Extinction, bro.
Oh yeah, I mean, I got it booted up right now. About to, I was waiting for my turn, and then I was going to just go ahead and get started and just maybe play a couple of rounds solo again. Myself, I mean, we were talking about it last night, but it's just, I think it's just good old fun, just something that, like, Pong hit it right on the head. It's just that type of game that has been needed and that we've been craving for. It is what it is. It doesn't have to be overly spectacular. It doesn't need to be, it doesn't need to be underwhelming. It's not going to be for everyone, but it is going to resonate with certain people. And that's why I love it so much, is because it does remind me of Left 4 Dead, not in the sense of like when he was bringing up, because it's more open. It is more of an open world game, but it's just because of the hordes, the chaos that happens, and even when you're with friends, it adjusts. So if you go into one certain area, you got to try to shoot down the satellites. You get the satellites, you see other things, other points, but then it also gives you a meter of showing, hey, if you go into this area, shit's about to get real. And that right there, just and how I am, I'm like, let's go. So I go in there and I run my ass back into where it's really green, because it's like, it's serious. So that's the one thing about it, is that it gives you a good challenge solo, and then also that it gives you an extreme crazy challenge with friends. And I just love that. It's just, just like with Outriders, I like those type of games that you could get immersed into, that just kills time. It does have strategy in it, but it's more of the fact that it's just that you don't have to take the game too serious. I mean, hell, we're on a planet that's got dinosaurs. Come on. It's, and then another thing that was tripping me out was that people were asked, how was the game? Hey man, you have an Xbox. You're hitting me up on Xbox. Download it. It's only 9 gigs. Try it out. Well, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I can understand if you had, people still have this mentality is like if you downloaded that, you bought it. You didn't buy the game. Just try it out, give it an opportunity, and just play more than just one time. And see if you like the game, see if you like it playing in solo, or if you like playing with friends, because sometimes you might play with some people that might not gravitate to the game, or might not know what's going on, and then it kind of seems like it's kind of dull because you're just kind of running around not knowing what you need to do. But if you find somebody that has a higher level, because that's how I gain my level. I'm a level 11 right now. And so right now I just what I did was that I kind of played with a lot of randoms, and then I started playing with people who was higher level than me, and they knew where to go, because once you get those contracts, you get extra perks on top of that. But you get this thing is kind of like with when you beat the game on Outriders. You go into the expeditions, and the quicker that you beat those those expeditions, the more rewards you get. So once you get those contracts, there's some contracts that does that. There's also some easier contracts if you could just kill like 50 raptors, things like that. But it's just it's actually pretty deep for what it is. I thought I knew the upgrades and the customizations when it comes to making your guns, getting your guns together and things like that. I just now figured that out. For your upgrade tokens, you have to buy them, then implement them and put them into your perks. So therefore, that enhances whatever gets your favorite gun. And also, this is something I found out yesterday, is that just because that character has that type of gun, you may not like that gun of what that character has. You can change that gun. You can change it to whatever. Mm-hmm. So like I liked playing with the older guy. But I didn't feel like playing with the sniper. So I changed and I gave him an assault rifle. And all those perks and everything that he has, or his special abilities, I love. And so, with the charges and all of that, and then you get other things like you get incendiary grenades, you get this thing called the thumper, and it's kind of like you just throw it on the ground, and then if something rolls over it, it detonates, but it also throws like all different types of debris and particles at everything. It's crazy. Like it's got a lot of depth into the game, and it's just in preview, so I cannot wait. And then also I found a new dinosaur for the very first time because I played on hard, and we went into a red level, and it was a crazy looking raptor with a big gut, and it had green eyes, and it was green in the belly. But it wasn't like the other raptors. It was a different type of raptor, like the ones with the big hooks on the toe. It was crazy. If you see it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But it did some kind of like a head attack at you, and they come in droves. Like, I mean, we fought about like 60 of them. I'll show that gameplay on GRG tomorrow night, but the game is just fun. It's exhilarating for me because it's just something that you could just jump in with some friends and just have a blast with, That's it.
Nice.
I enjoy it.
I just real quick, I want to shout out my brother, Sir X-Man, hitting up that super chat, bro. Thank you so much for the support. He said, Crispy, I figured out how to do the online in MLB The Show.
Nice.
I didn't know I haven't played online with
Padres all the way.
I haven't played online against anybody, but is it really that hard to get like an online match?
It was a pain in the ass, dude.
It was weird.
It was weird.
One of the things I don't like about that game
good on
is
you, Sir X.
the menu setup, man. Like that's the one thing I don't like about that game. But shout out to Sir X-Man again. Thank you so much for the support. Let's go to Predator. Predator, did you try Second Extinction yet?
So, full disclosure here, when you posted that you want us to play this game, I actually thought you meant Scavengers, but so I re-downloaded that. I actually was in the preview for Second Extinction and Scavengers, so I got them both confused. But I have played Second Extinction before on PC, like in October.
Oh, damn.
So I played it a couple of times in the past. So I can tell you, when I first played this game on PC, I was like, nope, and I uninstalled it. Like I was like, I went to look on Steam while you guys were talking. I was like, I know I played this game already before. So like, and I was like, where did I play it before? So I went back and looked. I was like, yeah, I played this on PC, and it's with the dinosaurs. And like, the dinosaurs in the preview were fucking so OP. Like, and I was playing by myself. Like, it was early preview for what you guys were playing. So like, I couldn't get a team together. Like, I don't think a lot of people were in the preview when I was doing it. So like, I got my ass kicked, man. So, like, I was like, holy shit, this game sucks. It was so hard. Like, I couldn't do shit. I played a couple of rounds. I ended up playing a couple of rounds with some people, but I think what you guys are playing is a lot better version of what I played, because it was clunky as fuck. It was hard. Like there are things like going on in the game that like you could tell it was like early in the development cycle. So, but I do like the aspect of the multiplayer. Like, you have to work with other people and play it that way, and that's. Yeah, I mean, I think Crispy mentioned Outriders before, and it's kind of like that. It's like the same. I hate dinosaur games. I'm not a fan of those games at all, and I think that's why I never touched it again. But I will say, like, what I played when it was actually working and not necessarily the visuals back then, but it's got legs. I mean, like it's definitely a Game Pass game. It's got the multiplayer aspects of it, and I see what you guys are seeing, like, where they're gonna go with it, and I think that, like, long term, it's got some legs on it. I would love to see, because I think it's just 3-player right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know where we went in our community and gaming community. We went from having, like, I remember playing 8-player multiplayer games, one team on Ghost Recon, and now we're down to 3. So I don't know if it's something they're coding in. What? Like,
I heard it's about
like,
balancing.
Yeah. And I've noticed that with a lot of games recently, like in last several years, like they go from 4 to 3. And I prefer like at least 6 people in a multiplayer game. I like that balance, but because each person has a different skill set, I see why they do it. Like even in the military, it's a 4-man squad. So like I can see that, but I prefer them to do at least 4. But doing 3, it's kind of no, hold on. I prefer them to do at least 4 people, but I mean, who knows? They might fix that later. It's not a problem. But I like playing with friends, and this is a game you play with friends, So like you want to get as many friends in, and I found that even Outriders, using that example, there's always that one person who can't get in the game because you've already got 3 people in there. So, and I really wish the gaming would get away from that. But that game, a Second Extinction, like you cannot play that solo. Like I realized that when I first played it. That game is fucking hard. Like I was getting attacked every fucking angle that I could imagine think of. Like, and I couldn't even run from these motherfuckers. Like I think when I played, like I remember being up at this base camp at this building, and I think I had like some weird fucking like dinosaur, some huge ass dinosaur just like sitting below me, trying to kill me while these little velociraptors were jumping up on top of the building to kill me. And I was like, no, this isn't going to work out. So, and I couldn't run. I couldn't heal. I couldn't find any ammo. Like, I was like, this fucking sucks. And so when I played with other people, obviously it was a little bit better experience. So this is definitely, that's why I say it's a Game Pass game. It's a multiplayer game. And that's what Microsoft's going for with these games. And like you really have to play with other people in a game like this. I'm sure you can figure out how to do it solo, but it's just funner when you play with other friends. I just wish you can add more friends to it.
Nice, bro. And that's funny. You were able to play it back in October, man. And you probably said something to us about it too. And I completely.
I thought I had gameplay for it, and I don't know. I think I recorded gameplay for it, and maybe we never used it, or I just never gave it to you because I suck so bad at it. And I was like, nope, we ain't using this. But I know I recorded some gameplay for it. I might have been under NDA, and I couldn't use it either. So. But I know I recorded some gameplay for it because I remember playing it several times, and I was like, let me record this shit and save it for later, just like I did with the All-Stars game, the dodgeball game. So yeah, I usually when I get in these demos that like these game previews that come out on PC well before we get them on Xbox, I usually record footage for it, and I save it for when I can use it. And I know I have it somewhere, and I might have did some shit on my Xbox or my PC and deleted it, but I remember playing this game. I know I've got footage somewhere stored deep in some realm somewhere. So, I typically try to do this shit.
I appreciated that, like, if you were under NDA, that you don't just like share it with me and possibly get my channel in trouble. So I appreciate that, bro. When it comes down to it, man. But let's go to the Angry Otter himself, the man that even when he plays PlayStation, he is on Xbox Live parties talking to his friends. That's right, people. It is Dark. He does this. But Dark, have you tried Second Extinction yet, bro?
Is it on PlayStation?
No.
Oh, it's not? It's on Game Trash? Okay, never mind.
Oh! Yo, Midway, if you're listening, Midway.
No, honestly, man, when I first saw this game, I was like, I have no interest in this game at all. I knew it from the beginning. I was like, I'm not gonna play this game.
You could try to play it single player. I mean, that's your...
Dude. No, dude. Like, I knew exactly as soon as I saw this game, I was like,
going
nope.
On right now, bro. Look at that.
Not. Yeah, even looking at this, I'm like, nope, not my type of game. It's just not, man. I mean, I'm so glad that you guys are enjoying it. it's awesome to hear that you guys are having fun with it, but it's just not for me. And I respect that it's a game that's not for me. It's a game for you guys, and I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it. You guys are having fun, and but I think it does bring some, it does bring something to show for Xbox, stating that, like, this game is in game preview, and just looking from this gameplay, it looks really good. I mean, like, it does look good. I'm not gonna deny that you can't deny that. It's just, is it a game for me? Absolutely not. But I mean, I mean, that's the thing, like, with YouTube, like, it doesn't really show off like how great it looks, but I mean, I'm sure, like, on the Series X or the Series S, it looks great. I mean, I don't know. I haven't played it. I'm not gonna play it anyways. But I mean, so I mean, kudos, kudos to Microsoft for getting this game, and hopefully it goes far. Hopefully you guys get more content for it and everything like that.
What do you mean by you got? No, I'm just playing. Dude, like I said,
I mean, you guys on the panel, man. Come on.
The game isn't necessarily for me. Like, I'm not big into Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, I'm not either, dude. That's the thing. Like,
the funny thing is,
like, I know it's
Back 4
blasphemous,
Blood. I want to play though.
I'm not interested in that either. I look at that game and I'm just like,
oh man,
whatever.
That game was fun.
Dude, that huge
Fred,
zombie
did you play
that
it?
rips the fence apart, like, to come after
It's like
you.
Man, he's a monster. He's but it's Left 4 Dead. It's the same developers who made Left 4 Dead, and
it's just not.
I played it on the
my
PC.
thing,
I'm pretty sure you played it too. Man, it just brought all that nostalgia back because it plays exactly like Left 4 Dead. It's just all the just even to the aspect of when you go into the room to separate and go into the next level, you just close the door, boom. Everything is just identical to that.
Which is cool and all, but, like, I mean, I just, it's not. Nah, I'm good. You know me, I'm a story guy. I like, the single player games, and you guys gave me shit about it all the time, but that's what I like.
I like
man.
those third person single player story driven narratives. Yeah.
I like grabbing my popcorn and watching these games being played for me.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. I mean.
But hold on, guys. He says all that. He says all that, but he is a major Halo multiplayer player.
What's the next Xbox game that's coming out?
Who knows?
You don't know. You don't know what's coming out.
I got a list right here.
You have no idea what's coming out.
Biomutant
You
is
don't
coming.
know if Halo's coming out this year.
That's a single player experience.
But is it coming? We don't know.
What, Biomutant?
They haven't announced anything.
It's right there for pre-order.
Halo.
Oh, Halo? Oh, Halo was coming. Yeah, Halo's coming.
Yeah, but when?
Oh, you're talking about the Xbox first party. Okay,
they have not announced anything.
Hey man, if Game Pass just keeps delivering like it's doing, you know what I'm saying, I'm fine. You know what I'm saying?
I think
my
our
gaming
Dark
experience
just
is
wants people
fed.
to attack his Twitter right now. I think that's what's going on.
He's fine. No man, listen. I put 400 plus hours into Inquisition, so I play my single player games too.
He has deep down feelings for single player games. It's okay. We still love you.
It's okay. It's okay.
Wow, guys.
Crispy. Never mind. We'll get into it.
I don't even know where to go next after that. You know what? I know where to go. I know where to go, guys. And this is something that I saw. I'm a part of a couple DMs with K Mega, and I gotta give props where it's due. He posted this article talking about this rumor, and it's something that really intrigued me. I'm gonna pull up the article just so I get the name right. But it appears that NetherRealm Studio might be busy on a new game, and you would think Mortal Kombat or something with DC, but the rumor is no, it is neither one of those, but it might be a Marvel superhero fighting game. Now I'm looking for the name right here. The rumor stems from leaker Daniel Reichman, as discovered by Stealth Optional. According to the rumor, NetherRealm is making a Marvel fighting game for next generation consoles. Unfortunately, no further details about this game have been revealed at this time. But this guy is a leaker, supposed leaker. They're putting it out there that he's a leaker, and that this is interesting to me because NetherRealm is they're under Warner Brothers, so that's a weird dealing right there. You got a development studio under Warner Brothers, possibly working on a Marvel fighting game, which is a Disney property. This is really intriguing, and I am going to go to the panel, but first and foremost, I got to shout out our brother Sir X-Man one more time, hitting up that super chat. Again, thank you for the support, bro. He says, Predator just said console is better. PC Master Race sucks. Oh, my goodness. And came from the lips of Predator, too. Can you believe that? But, let's get into this Marvel fighting. You know what? I'm gonna go to the guy that I feel is, that fighting game guy on the panel. So I'm gonna go to K Mega first on this. K Mega, again, shout out to you for posting that article, man. I thought it was really interesting. It would be an interesting dynamic that these companies coming together to work on a fighting game. What do you think about this rumor? Do you think it's true? How do you think, if you do think it's true, how do you think NetherRealm would handle Marvel? Do you think they can only do that one type of fighting game? Because when I think of Marvel superheroes, I think more fluidity than kind of than DC and whatnot. And from what I saw, what they did with DC characters, it was pretty much a Mortal Kombat-esque character. But with the DC mantra, the DC characters, I always pictured Marvel more fluent, more flowing in its movement. Do you think that they would kind of stay tried and true to their form if they're making a Marvel fighting game?
Right. Oh, okay. So this is the thing. Me and Don was kind of going back and forth about it last night, because I think he thinks passionately of certain aspects of how Disney operates. That he thinks, and I understand that he knows more within the industry than I do. But it's
he
just
also
like
told me Anthem was a good game. So
Anthem is a great game. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Anyway, okay, stop it. Anyway, again, but overall, what it is that, look, I look at it from this standpoint. It's just like how we were hearing all of these rumors about Xbox making all these type of moves and getting certain type of games and doing this, and people didn't believe it then. And people was like, oh, Sony wouldn't do this, or this company wouldn't do that, and blah, 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 back and forth. The issue is, if Disney lays down the bag, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about anything DC does.
Brother, real quick, check out what the Geeky Nerd put in the chat, because I think that has some relevance there in opposition to what the Don might have been saying.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna go there. So I mean, not as articulate as he broke it down, but I will say this. He says, "Don't WB make the Lego games? There's Star Wars, Marvel, Lego, etc." No, he's right. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think they don't make them; they publish them.
Right, but again, okay, but then you also have to look at what NetherRealm is. Ed Boon owns NetherRealm, and even though it is, his bosses is Warner Brothers and AT&T is the main company over Warner Brothers. The fact of it is that AT&T is with that they were trying to sell their games there. They're hemorrhaging money. And so the fact of it is that, listen, money talk, bullshit walks. Disney wants something, they will get it. I mean, we just sit here and we just last year or 2 years ago, we were going through this motions. There was all this beef in the movie industry, and you had all these comic fans from Sony Pictures and from the MCU, and people were like, oh man, Spider-Man ain't gonna do, Spider-Man ain't never coming back to the MCU. What's happening now? So again.
Well, to speak on that a little bit,
go ahead.
is that Tom Holland actually went to Disney and said, "Hey,
So
I
okay,
want to continue to play Spider-Man.
right, but
We got
again,
to make this deal
but
happen."
remember what the big wigs at
And
Sony
so
said. They said
so
it wasn't
Kevin
going to ever
Feige,
happen.
well, Kevin Feige went in and was just like, "Okay, we got to go talk to Sony," and Sony they made a deal.
Well,
So
okay, so you made my point. That's the thing. You don't think Ed Boon can't come and say, "Look how much money that
Yeah.
we can generate if we can just sit there and make if I can be able for me and my studio to make a Marvel game." We already know that Injustice 3 is about to drop. It's probably going to be one of the best looking fighters, have one of the best fighting stories that we've ever seen in the history of fighting games. Because NetherRealm just knows how to do it. And I think also that there's validity to it. I seen Maximilian talk about it last night. And again, could it be pie in the sky? Anything is pie in the sky until we see it, right? But the thing of it is that all bets are off now. We who would have ever thought we seen MLB the show on Xbox? And yes, money, like I said, money talks. This is why it is intriguing to me, is because I also think that there'll be a new Marvel versus Capcom that'll come out. That'll be from
Ooh.
Capcom.
Better than the
And
last one that came out, right?
oh yeah,
Okay.
and that's the thing. I think that maybe Disney want to put some pressure on Capcom. Like, look, the bullshit that you did last time. Look, the game mechanics in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite were absolutely fantastic. The game overall itself was poor compared to its predecessors because it just didn't.
I like the latest Marvel vs. Capcom. It's just that it doesn't hold a candle to the
Well,
previous installments.
No,
man.
that's the thing. Like, the story was absolutely ass juice. The graphics was not up to par, but the game mechanics itself was really well done. It's just that you know when you've seen the other, like you said, the other previous games, they were so much better than this entry, and that's the thing here. Like, maybe maybe Disney would want to try to put some pressure, because if anybody knows how to tell a story within fighting games, NetherRealm knows how to do
That's
it.
true.
Mortal Kombat. There is no fight, and you know how much I love Tekken. Tekken is my overall favorite fighting franchise of all time. But it finally took them all this time to make a compelling story with Tekken 7, but it still fell short because it didn't go into a full.
right, dude. Come on.
Did you beat the story? Did you beat the story mode?
I played the story mode. I was like,
Did you beat the story mode?
No, I didn't. But I was
Okay,
like,
have you followed Tekken from the day that the game came out?
Yo, he belly laughed.
Okay, yeah. Okay, again, stop it. They told a very good, compelling story. Trust me. As a Tekken fan, I
Belly
know.
laugh right there.
The thing of it is that though, NetherRealm is great at doing that. If I would recommend anybody out there to go play Injustice 1, even though graphically it doesn't hold up, but play that. Story mode, the story is fantastic. You play Injustice 2, the graphics stand up, and the story is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, to do a Marvel game would be insane. And then of course you just look at Mortal Kombat. Graphically, it's one of the best fighters that we've ever seen, and there's some people that have a love-hate for MK11, and some people prefer MKX. But if they can bridge the gap and do, I love MK11 too myself. But regardless of that, it just would make sense. And I think that the difference, because they do DC games, they can bridge the gap with everything. Nobody has to be held back on the situation, because we know that Injustice 3 is going to come out here soon. It's going to be announced here pretty soon. Why not for Ed Boon and them to work on a Marvel game? I think that there's some. I think this might be legit. We'll find out. If I'm wrong, I will definitely eat crow about it, and I'll say that I was wrong on it. But I think that this would be a good look for both Marvel and Warner Brothers if they did this.
Yo, definitely. If you look at it, it's like, what I feel is kind of like the best comic book company, and I know there are people out there that would argue. Quite possibly with the best fighting game studio out there. Like, Disney wants to improve the idea of their video games, their properties in video games. And I feel that they'll go after the studios that are known as kind of like, the top of that genre to make those games. What happened with Disney, Star Wars, and EA, I think it kind of woke Disney up to broaden the possibilities of who would make the games, for the franchises that they own.
Right. I mean, just look at they're doing stuff with Ubisoft. They look. Split Second is one of the best arcade racers
Dude,
that I've ever played in my life.
That needs a sequel.
It never will because Black Rock Studio is gone. I mean, now if they decided, because if Disney got this new strategy where they want other publishers to make a Split Second 2, then I'm all for that, because that is a very original, fantastic IP, and I could just imagine what that game would look like with today's graphics and the way that game is so intense when you're playing.
Yeah,
my God. But that's the thing for me is, why not Disney go out and reach out to other publishers to to touch on every genre of their properties? They have so many now since they bought out Fox and they bought out Fox. They could do all different types of things. I just seen that they were making a new Terminator game. That I hate that it's not 4-player, but it's 3-player co-op.
Again.
But that game looks solid though too. So I don't know. I can't wait to hear what everybody else has to say about it.
You talking about Resistance?
No. It's no. I'm
it's a new one.
Did I say Terminator? I'm sorry. Alien. It's an Alien.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the Alien game.
Yeah,
that looks really good. I can't wait to get my hands on that and try that out. So, I mean, yeah, I think just times has changed. Everybody who's had certain type of thoughts about like keeping things in-house or having their own studios or things like that, I think it's just wide open now, and everybody just want to make money instead of just keep things, within their own realm.
It's crazy. Real quick. I want to shout out my brother, Sir X-Man, who is he is here tonight, people. Man, he is going crazy. Hitting up that super chat, and the funny thing is, I think he goes right along with what you're saying, K Mega. He said, "Time to think out of the box. Disney might be buying Warner Brothers from AT&T. Could be possible. They got the money. Disney has as much as Microsoft." Now, when you're talking Disney and you're talking Microsoft, you're talking huge wallets, like all the way around.
Right, and we never know. It might not even be just a Marvel game. It could be Marvel versus DC. It could be Marvel versus
Marvel versus DC. Let's go.
Like, it could be Marvel versus MK. It could be anything. I just think that we need more of these type of games to come out. These cross, especially in fighters, we need these cross-gen. Well, not cross-gen, but these cross games to come out. These are fighters' dreams right here.
Dude,
this is the shit that makes
DC
us
would blow up, yo.
Man. This would be the shit that would make us just get wet. Like, and I'm a man, so I mean, fuck it.
Yo, Venom against the Joker. Like, stuff like that. Like, oh my.
He's gonna have wet dreams about this game.
Bro, I'm about to go grab my wife right now. I'll be back.
All right, hold on. Somebody time minute 45 seconds. K Mega will be back. Yeah.
I'll put on a timer.
I gotta go to our guest on this one. Yo, Pong, you heard K. First off, K Mega is a fighting guy, and Pong, I'm not sure if you're a fighting guy, so you gotta let us know about that. But what do you think about this rumor? It's just a leaker saying that's what they're developing. There's no real details or anything. Do you think it's possible? And would you be down for something like that, man?
All right, so I'm a fighter guy, but I'm not a K Mega fighter guy, right? So I love fighters, but I'm not going to spend the time to learn strategies and all the moves. I'm a butt masher, but I love fighting games. I love Guilty Gear. It's awesome to play. I loved Injustice. Phenomenal game to play through the story and the campaign. So I do love fighters, even though I'm not a technical expert or one that's going to go compete anywhere. I just enjoy sitting down and playing fighters. So I'm excited about any kind of possibilities, especially when it comes to Nether Realms and Ed Boon and his team, because they have shown time and time again, like K Mega was talking about, that they know what they're doing, right? And they not only put together solid fighting from a technical standpoint, but they put a story that actually makes you want to play, a compelling story along with it. And that doesn't always happen in fighters, as we know, right? So there's a lot of great fighters out there that are pretty shallow or no story at all. So for me, I think it's exciting. Now, I'm going to be a little selfish here. And I'm going to say that I hope this isn't true because I'm hoping that Phil already got there and dropped the bag off, and they're doing a Killer Instinct versus Mortal Kombat mashup. And because Ed Boon has wanted to go back to do Killer Instinct forever. He came out years ago and said that he would drop everything to do a Killer Instinct. So I'm hoping because I think at the end of the day, Phil and his team have not been able to find a studio to make Killer Instinct. And I know they let a lot of IPs sit there and rot, and there's a bunch of them that I'm disappointed in, but I don't think Killer Instinct is one of those IPs that Phil wants to let go. I think he understands how important that is. So again, off topic, but again, that's my selfish side of things. I would rather see something like that happen because again, I know Ed Boon wants to do it in a heartbeat. So I think that should be the first one. But if they were going to go ahead and do a Marvel, yeah, man, sky's the limit. Again, I love Injustice. I love both of the Injustices.
Paul,
so,
can I interrupt you just 1 second?
Go ahead.
I want to compromise. I want to say you're absolutely right because I got to talk to Ed Boon at E3, and I asked him.
Nice.
I said, "Was you serious about Killer?" He said, "I love Killer Instinct." He said, "If I had the opportunity, I would do it in a heartbeat."
Ooh.
And so, just wanted to
go.
But here's the thing about NetherRealm and
that was
KI.
in 2019, bro. I couldn't believe it.
I like KI's like combo system and stuff like that, and I wouldn't want to see NetherRealm Mortal Kombat that title. You know what I'm saying? I like the differences between Mortal Kombat and Killer Instinct.
I get that, but see, this is the thing that while they're hamstrung right now, and because Phil told me this when we had that little that thing before the Xbox, the Series X came out, and then they had like the Fan Fest thing, and that was the question that I asked him. Like every time that I get a chance to get it, if I can get a hold and talk to some of these guys, I'm bringing up KI, and so he says, look. It is coming. He says it's just that we're looking for the right devs to get it right. And since that got bought out, since the people that made the Iron Galaxy got bought out,
did they get bought out by Stadia?
They got bought out by Google. So it was Google or Amazon, Stadia. One or the other. So regardless of that,
Google Stadia, they might be around again.
Well, Adam Boyes does not want them to work on it. He does not want them to work on it. And so because he wants them to do other things, and that team from what I've heard from people that are very reliable that talk to Phil like every day, said that they didn't even think about it. They just seen the dollar signs and they was like, shit, fuck it. Let's just do that. But then once they got where they are, they were like, oh man, so we can't do this, we can't do that. They can't let us, go ahead and do this. And so that's the dilemma, because there are not that many developers who makes games like that, like they did with Killer Instinct, which I thought that was absolutely insane, because I thought that this was kind of like, but because of how that engine ran, if you really think about it, there is not too many fighters out there that plays like Killer Instinct.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's only a few people there, but I'm sorry, Pong. I know you were just right. You were just so correct on what you were saying.
I appreciate you coming in and giving me back up here, man. Because again, and Xbox, to your point of being scared of Ed Boon changing the game or NetherRealm's changing the game, if Ed Boon has that kind of respect for Killer Instinct, I think he understands. Obviously, the heart of the game is different from Mortal Kombat. And I think he would try to incorporate that or keep it in some way, shape, or form. It may not be exactly the same, but I can guarantee you if he likes Killer Instinct, it is because of the differences that he finds in it versus like a Mortal Kombat. Yeah. So I definitely think that he would be respectful of that. But again, to get back to Marvel, if this rumor is true, then yeah, I mean, again, what better way? I mean, I like obviously K-Mega's idea of doing a Marvel versus DC. I mean, that would be wow, best of both worlds. I mean, holy cow. Can you imagine the stories that would come out of that? Oh my God. Everybody's waiting for a movie. Ed and his team would probably do their best to give us that experience just through the fighting game. But I definitely, I'm all on board. They've proven themselves time and time again. And if you're going to trust anybody to take hold of a franchise like that with those kind of iconic characters that are involved and be respectful and know how to build a story within a game like that that is going to honor obviously all the lore and everything else that's going on right now, especially in the Marvel universe. It would be Ed Boon and his squad by far. So I think this is a great matchup. And, you know, again, has been pointed out already too, you know, nothing's off the table. There is so much money flowing in this industry right now that if somebody wants something to happen, you know, again, dropping off a bag of money is going to get it done at this point. And I think that obviously the dollar signs are all around. Everybody knows that if you take a Marvel, the Marvel license, and you stamp NetherRealms on it, and you create a fighter, and it's anywhere even close to what Injustice has done, it's an automatic moneymaker. You know, that's instantaneous. There's no worries. There's no risk involved whatsoever with that.
Yeah.
And I think that also goes back to why, you know, they would trust NetherRealms, even if it is, you know, WB versus Disney. They would trust that it would be handled properly because everybody that's involved is going to come out golden in the end. So I think that's a huge deal. So yeah, no, I'm all for it. Again, even though I'm not, you know, a super deep fighter guy, I play the hell out of fighters, and I will button mash the hell out of some Marvel characters if that's what it comes down to. So,
you know,
I'm all for it, man.
You know, Pong, I think me and you, we might be kind of similar when it comes to fighters. I do, you know, when it comes to special moves and stuff, or especially Mortal Kombat, you know, I try to learn a few combos and stuff like that to really kind of flesh out the characters I like to play. But you're making me think that me and you should play Mortal Kombat 11 sometime.
All right, brother, we can make that happen. A lot
of fun, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's do it.
Let's go to Dark on this one. You know, we all know Dark is a huge fighting fanatic. I mean, he loves playing games like Tekken all day, all night, 24/7. So, Dark, what do you think about this rumor? Do you think there's any validity to it? It's one guy who's a supposed leaker, and all he said was that's the game that they're making. No title, no details. Do you think there's some validity behind this? And if so, do you think NetherRealm can handle a Marvel fighting game?
NetherRealm's the only one who can. Period. NetherRealm is probably one, if not the best, fighting game developers out there. To me, anytime they come out with a game, I buy it day one, every time. Even if I don't play it all, even if I don't play it very much, I buy it day one every time because I know eventually I'm gonna go back and play that story again, or I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna just, you know, play it, you know. So I mean, they know how to make, you know, great fighting games. I mean, to me, I know K Mega, he loves, you know, fighters and different types of fighters and things like that, but to me, you know, there is nobody better than NetherRealm.
Dude, their lowest point, the developers of Mortal Kombat, from what I can remember, their lowest point was when they came out with a Mortal Kombat for the original Wii. I think that was their low point. But and that wasn't really a low point. That wasn't really the lowest point you can go.
Yeah,
and they've just been climbing ever since.
Because the game did do pretty well on the Wii. Like, but yeah, man, that team just knows. And Ed Boon, I mean, he knows, you know, what people, you know, even people who aren't fans of fighter games like, you know, and you know, and I mean, I can't wait for Injustice 3. I can't, and if this Marvel thing is true, I'm absolutely excited for that. That's day one for me, you know. Like, I mean, anything that they make on NetherRealm's side, day one, you know. And I'm excited for it, man. If it is true, hopefully, I'm hoping it is true. I really am hoping that it's true, or even whatever, you know, the game that I can't remember what the game that you were talking about, Pong. What was it like? Was it Marvel or Mortal Kombat versus DC or something like that? You were saying
Mortal Kombat versus Killer Instinct is the one I brought up.
Oh, yeah.
Just Marvel versus DC. Yeah.
Even that, like, even those games. Oh my God! Like, and they're making it.
I know
Oh,
Boom has
shoot.
been on that gravy train here recently, but I've been
Yeah.
talking about that shit since 2017. If you
Yeah.
go back and look at
Look
my
at his
profile
gamer
on
pick.
Xbox,
Look at his
look
gamer
at my
pick.
gamer pick.
Honestly,
I've
honestly,
been on that. So shout out
I-
to Boom to who won that too, because if more and more people keep talking about wanting these crossover games, they will listen for real.
honestly, I think if NetherRealm takes the reins of Killer Instinct, it's gonna be better than the Killer Instinct that came out for the
No,
Xbox.
it won't. No, that's
Blasphemy.
blasphemy. That's blasphemy. That's blasphemy, bro. That's blasphemy. The one thing I will admit, I will give you is that story-wise, it was because
I
Killer
knew-
Instinct didn't really have a story.
I
No,
knew-
bro.
I knew
Bro,
that would came back.
I don't like to interrupt people when they get in this shit, but your shit is blasphemous.
I have to agree with Dark. I have to agree with
Oh
Dark.
man,
I have
okay.
to.
Let me mute
I have
myself.
to.
I gotta step away. Let me sip on my. Let me sip. Let me do my sipping.
But no, man. I mean, honestly, in all good fun. Honestly, NetherRealm, no matter what they do, man, it's gonna be awesome, dude.
Mhm.
And I can't wait for it.
Nice,
to be honest.
man. I gotta agree with you. I do hope this is true.
Yeah.
I think it would be interesting to see Marvel
Just imagine that,
characters
dude. Oh my god, dude. Fucking Marvel characters. Oh,
develop.
shit.
Yeah, fighting develop through NetherRealm and how
Oh,
NetherRealm would see
man.
them fighting and taking on other characters and stuff like that. It's something I would really like to see. All right, let's go Crispy. Let's go Crispy. He came in and he chimed in real quick on Dark's opinion there. So, what do you think about this, Crispy? What do you think about this rumor? Could it possibly be true? And if so, do you think that they can handle a Marvel fighting game, bro?
Well, you have to realize that a non-gaming company like Disney, for example, is going to learn from their mistakes. They will get, they will get paid the license money and be like, yeah, we're cool, do whatever you want. And then all of a sudden the reception is crap. And that's what's happened a lot recently. I mean, I think the only Disney IP that's really gotten some decent talk and said it's not bad is Squadrons that has come out recently. So, and that's from EA.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Well, Fallen Order, but I mean,
and we all know
I'm saying recently. I'm saying recently.
It's fairly recent.
And the point is that you're going to go into a fighting, which they really, I mean, Marvel versus Capcom was way back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you still had, the Fox IPs. Well, now they can come back. I mean, you could have a crazy ass Wolverine up in NetherRealm Studios.
Oh, I didn't even think
know what
about
I'm saying?
Oh my goodness.
Dude, I'm going to tell you, all right, the only reason why I say Ed Boon could probably make any game better than anybody else has made as far as fighting games is concerned is because the dude in 1 year originated the original Mortal Kombat, which is almost 30 years old. Okay, people, almost 30 years old. Next year, it will be 30 years old. This dude and John Tobias, they both established that game. Now, were they owning it? No, but being a programmer, designer, and voicing 4 of the characters, the dude was involved in the game, and that's what made it great. And this guy is just good at making fighting games. That's his forte. And Marvel, Disney, whoever, if you do this, I hope you do. He is going to treat it like his baby because that's all he does with fighting games. He treats them like his. Anybody thought Injustice was going to be as good as it was? I don't think so.
Crispy,
but it is.
When you said Wolverine, you just made me think about there are dark characters when it comes to Marvel. Can you imagine Wolverine, Deadpool, Carnage, Venom, Blade? As
he can follow the trend now and do the Dark Avengers and have Wolverine's son.
Yeah, dude, there's so much that you can touch And not only that, like if it was MK versus Marvel, I think people would be happy about that too. The only problem I think we have at this point is are you going to be PG-13 or are you going to be rated fucking R? And
Oh.
you know what I'm saying? If you're rated R, I have seen movies like Logan was pretty fucked up
Yo, it was.
compared to what it was, compared to what you've seen from Wolverine. Wolverine, you didn't see the gore and the way he handled people. They kind
You
of
did
cut
in
it
Logan.
out. And you did in Logan. and you go Logan. Dude,
That was Fox though. That was Fox.
Dude, but you could bring in, you know, like,
But that
and
was
that's
still under the
well,
Disney
that's where I
umbrella.
go and say, and I'm gonna call this out. This kind of
Well, I mean,
completely
they're
off
going to
topic.
they're going to do the Deadpool movie, and that's going to be rated R
It's
for
gonna
sure.
be rated R, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I'm gonna be completely off topic real quick. But if they're gonna go because they allowed the Deadpool movie to happen, they've already said it. Okay, if they go rated R at some points, we need some World War Hulk with fucking Wolverine versus Hulk. Bro, come on, dude. I want to see that shit, dude. Come on. I don't care. It's going to be brutal and I love it. But that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, like they can go a lot of routes and I'm super excited. I hope it's really true, dude, because at the end of the day, I just want to play a great fucking fighting game that will smash it. And dude, I play Soul Calibur, everything else. It doesn't have blood and gore, and it's still spectacular in my opinion. So, for the love of God, you got to do it. Like, give Ed Boon, give NetherRealm those characters, and I think they're gonna do something special with it.
Wow, you know what's awesome about this? Like there are certain topics, that Crispy chimes in on every topic, but there are certain topics that you can hear the excitement in his voice, and this is one of those, Crispy. Like I heard the genuine excitement and kind of like the thought of like possibilities with this whole kind of like rumor, and that's awesome, man. That's a gamer right there. Like when something kind of goes down your alley in terms of gaming, and you can hear that excitement, you can hear kind of like the cogs turning and kind of like thinking about the possibilities and stuff. I think that's what makes this topic such an awesome topic to talk about live for you guys in the chat. So shout out to you, Crispy, man. I love hearing that genuine enthusiasm. And speaking of genuine enthusiasm, shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up that super chat one more time. Again, thank you for the support, brother. He says, I want Mortal Kombat versus DC 2. Dude, you never know, man. It can come around. I can imagine what that would look like now. The funny thing is, with MK11, they didn't even use the latest version of Unreal, the Unreal Engine, to make that. And you see the character models and how detailed they are and the backdrops, along with the crazy fighting gameplay mechanics and stuff. I could just imagine what a Mortal Kombat versus DC 2 would look like and play like now. That would be insane.
On next gen, on this current gen.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yo, Predator, what do you think about this rumor, bro? I'm not too sure if you're big on fighters or whatnot, but do you think this is a possibility? There's some validity behind this, and what do you think about NetherRealm possibly doing a Marvel fighting game?
Honestly, I'm not into fighters like that, but like I said last week and the week before, this is the time where we start getting these leaks and rumors, and you can't really tell what to believe. But I mean, the last Marvel fighting game I remember playing was Marvel vs. Capcom, and I'm not a huge fighter. Like I know K-Mega plays a lot of fighters and stuff like that. I'm not huge into that genre, but I remember playing that game because I always play as Wolverine, and I loved it. But like I just, that I could see how it would work. I just don't know if it's true or not. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, especially this time of the year, like we hear all this stupid shit coming out of people's mouths, and it's hard to tell what to believe. But I would love to see that fighter though. Like I would actually pick that up. Because I'm not really big into video game characters like that, like the cartoon, not cartoon, but the comic book characters like that. I've never been into that, even growing up. But I would
Dude,
fuck with
Ghost
that.
Rider. Oh my goodness. Yo, double X. Thank you so
Yeah, dude.
Double
M.
M, my bad.
God, man,
Thank
come
you
on,
so
dude.
much. Ghost Rider. Oh.
And I think for me, it's like I never got into the lore of it, so I don't know the history of the characters and stuff like that. But I mean, it's time for a new fighter. I mean, I think we need to get, we need a Killer Instinct. We need another Marvel fighter, because I think I think we're gonna get another. Fuck, I can't think of the one from Capcom. Off the top of my head, because it was exclusive to Sony last
Street
time.
Fighter.
Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I think we're overdue, like, for a new fighter. Just it can't be just Smash Brothers. Like, that's what everyone's playing right now. So, like, we're due. So I mean, like, this is a good time for something like that.
Nice.
Well, maybe think of it this way. Like, maybe this is how Phil Spencer, or what Phil Spencer meant by making it up to you guys about Street Fighter.
Well,
when he talked
no,
about
Street Fighter is definitely coming.
It's coming multiplayer.
Yeah, it's coming multi-plat now.
Yeah, the
That got
sixth
in
one.
those
Yeah,
leaks. Yeah, it's coming multi-plat. Yeah.
But I'm thinking, like, maybe if he does if they allow them to do Killer Instinct, maybe that'll make up for Street Fighter 5.
I mean, it would be a dream come true. I mean, like I said, Ed Boon said it himself. Like, man, he's like, that's one of his favorite games. It's such a unique fighter. Like, when we played it at Fight Night last week, and I was rusty, but just when you play it, like, there's nothing like that fighter. It is one of the most original fighters that you ever played. And it still looks good with some of the enhancements, but it doesn't have any of those true enhancements like other games that we see that's coming out, like maybe Battlefield 5, etc. Because it's so old. I mean, that was a launch title, and I will argue with anyone that would tell me that there's another fighter that's better than Killer Instinct that came out last gen.
MK11.
Well, no, I think Killer Instinct is the best fighter last gen, hands down, and I love everything. I love everything Injustice and Mortal Kombat, but because of the originality of what Killer Instinct provided,
KI was
and
unique in its gameplay.
KI is just unique. The net code was absolutely outstanding in 2013. And it still holds up better than most fighters out there. Mortal Kombat
Definitely better than Tekken.
Watch your mouth, but yeah,
Watch your mouth, but you're right.
Watch your mouth, but you're right. But you're right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, Harada-san. I'm sorry, but yeah. As much as I love Tekken, Tekken is the second best fighter next to Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers is the number one fighter out there. Tekken is number 2. Street Fighter is number 3. But the fact of it is that I think if that game that's why Killer Instinct would resonate so much now, is because all of that venom and hate that's out there for Xbox is gone. And that game is ready and primed to be released. But of course, like I said, it's all about, getting the right devs. But if Ed Boon can sit there, if anybody can try to make it work and make it somewhat similar, it could be Ed Boon. But I know what I can trust with Ed Boon is that he's going to put his heart and soul into it, and that he will give a compelling story that even Dark would jump on and play instantly.
Oh,
Nice.
It's if it's NetherRealm, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else? Fuck that shit.
Guys, speaking of heart and soul, it seems that the gaming community out there believes that the heart and soul of PlayStation is its first party exclusives. And an article came out, I believe it was today, and social media kind of went crazy. And the article is basically stating that Sony is going to invest an additional $183 million into PlayStation exclusives over this next year. Not only that, they also are putting more money into what we call second-party exclusives or exclusive deals, which means third-party developers or multi-plat games either get timed exclusivity or exclusivity outright when it comes to console on PlayStation. And, like I said, Twitter went absolutely crazy over this. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, they're investing an additional 183 million, and I got to bring this to the panel. And as I do that, the first person I'm going to be going to, I do have to run downstairs and unlock the door because my son is coming home. But this is really interesting to me because people are like, oh, Sony's, they're putting so much more money into first party exclusives and stuff. Me personally, I'm like 183 million. Like, how many exclusive games are you gonna make with that
2
number? Like, I'm like, is this really? I'm asking, is this really like something to scream from the rooftops, shout it out there from the rooftops, or is this seem to be a little kind of like marketing fluff just to get people? Hey, yeah, you remember we're exclusives, and we're gonna throw 183 million. For the people who don't really know how much money it takes to make like AAA blockbuster games,
90.
They could think, damn, like they're gonna make a ton of games like this.
Yeah.
You know what, Crispy? I'm gonna go to you first, man. It seems like you're chomping at the bit to get into this topic, and like I said, I just got to run downstairs real quick while you're answering this and giving your opinion. But dude, what do you think about this? Is this big news? I think the bigger news, because Sony has a habit of running in and making these exclusive deals when it comes to multiplats. And if they're investing more money into that, like that to me is a bigger deal, or in terms of what might not come to Xbox. But what are your thoughts on this? And is this a lot of money, bro?
You better run your ass down. You getting a Facebook phone call because my mom calls me on Facebook.
Oh, it's him. He's getting a phone call.
It's his kid calling through Facebook because my mom calls me like that. I like, Mom, I got a phone number. Why you calling me through Facebook?
So I want to give you perspective because everybody is, you know what? I want PlayStation to do well. Don't get me wrong, but 183 million compared to the 7 billion that Xbox should spend on Bethesda. And people are saying these Bethesda games are going to be, just multiplat. Like everybody can play them. Like, oh yeah, sure. Well, you got your death loops, you got whatever. Like we're going to honor whatever contracts are involved. Maybe even you might get lucky in the next Fallout or Skyrim. There may be a contract there from God knows how long ago. You don't know. But the point is you're going to expend on exclusives. Well, it's between 60 and 90 million dollars to make a AAA exclusive. So explain to me how in God's name that you think that that's a big deal, because it's not. Because you look at the plethora of games that have not come out from Xbox at this point.
Woo, Crispy, say that word again. Say that word again.
Plethora.
Woo!
Yeah. You look at what they haven't brought out yet, and the amount of money they clearly have spent to acquire these studios is astronomical. We're talking in the 20 to 30 billion dollar range. I am sure. Yes, we only heard about Bethesda, but Obsidian is no small developer. You know what I'm saying? Ninja Theory probably was like, well, our projections are this. Well, we'll pay you this, and y'all could back out, or y'all could work for us, and we're going to make more stuff happen for you. I feel like at this point that we're grasping at straws, and those straws are filled with lube with PlayStation.
Ew.
There's really slippery.
Ew.
And you
Why is it got to be lube?
It's got to be lube because you got to lube yourself up. That's what I'm saying.
Oh no!
But they're grasping at straws for some unknown reason, and what's that reason? It's called competition, people. Finally, they feel like they have competition. So why not throw out there that we're investing in our first-party exclusives and this and that? When really, when it comes down to it, when we get a year and a half, 2 years down the road, people will be like, well, where's your subscription service that's going to give us their day and date, AAA bangers? Because as soon as Halo Infinite comes out, as soon as Perfect Dark and Avowed and all these other games start coming out, freaking Hellblade 2. I mean, come on, people are clamoring for that. You got those games coming out, and then they're coming out in Game Pass, and Sony's sitting there like, well, no, you still have to spend $70 per game. I mean, we can't sustain that. That's what Jim Ryan said. Remember that. We can't do the Game Pass model. It's not feasible. Well, why in God's name did you invest in the Azure servers then? What's your end game with this? It doesn't make any sense to me. You're going to act like, and then we saw that article before. Oh, we're done with, these small games. We're going all AAA big games. So they want you to pay $70. That's what they want you to do. And that's fine and dandy, but there are some games that are not worthy of that price point, and they act like it is. And I think that's sad, because at the end of the day, we're sitting here and we get some games that we didn't expect were good on Game Pass for our subscription. And whatever you pay, I don't care. Oh, you pay $1, you pay $15. I pay $15. I was done with the $1 a long time ago. Okay. And I'm perfectly happy with that $15. Well, I look at the games that I've played, Outriders, freaking now Second Extinction. I never bought Gears, which still K-Mega's probably going to trash on me about, because he did that way long time ago. He's like, you have to buy that game. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to buy that game. I already have Game Pass. That's the whole point, dude. Like, we can try games. We can hate them. We can love them. But you know what? We have another game to play. How about y'all? Oh, wait, you already spent $70. I'm sorry. Don't get mad at me for enjoying what the fuck I got. Get the hell out of here.
Oh. Yo, he put the exclamation point at the end of that. Man, like, Crispy, one thing I do want to say, there was another, I think it was either an article or a well-respected person tweeting it out that Sony is also going to invest in more studios as well. And it's probably not just within this year or whatnot. And, if you look at what I've been saying, and I think K-Mega knew this as well, and I think Predator knew this as well, for maybe just about 2 years ago, a year and a half, 2 years ago, PlayStation was looking to hire people to help kind of rework PlayStation Now. Now, the way PlayStation is now and how many first-party studios they have now, they couldn't maintain a subscription service, and kind of have it at the backbone, new first-party, exclusive games and stuff. They don't have enough studios to do that. But I think they are gearing up to come out. I think they're going to rely on kind of like their past library to help bolster the reworking of PlayStation Now. And I think they are going to get like more studios. I don't think it'll be as many as Xbox, but I think they are going to get a few more studios as well.
They technically have.
They're basically setting up to do an Xbox, to do a Game Pass, and people don't even realize it. Yeah.
Well, they technically have started that process. I mean, look at Jade Raymond going, Haven Studios, but it's not owned by Sony, and that's where people, there are bigger things than us. And I'm not the type of person that'd be like, hey, this company's worth more than the other. But, Microsoft's worth a lot of money. They've been in the game, in gaming, actually, a very long time. Actually, they're building PC games before Sony was ever building a game or building a gaming console. And I just... they woke up, dude. Like, the competition is here now. Like, stop ignoring it.
It's just the way the industry is going. It's what I call kind of like the newer wallets in the community. They kind of grew up with their cell phones, tablets, stuff like that. Games as a service were a thing for them.
Well, think about a mobile game, for example. Like you get into the mobile game, you earn your currency or whatever, and you don't pay for it, but you're still engaged to it because it's literally on your phone. So imagine playing Halo Infinite on your phone, and it's you know, this is the thing. Like they make it compatible with your phone eventually. Like they make it just the phone, and it works as good as if you were playing on the game. Is it playing on a game console with a controller in your hand? No, but for what you want in a phone, you understand that, and most people do. Like most of them are like RTS type games, and you build things and you destroy people. That's what most of the games are, and they are super popular. So think about that. And then you throw, you know, Game Pass of it. Oh, you pay $15, you play, you know, 10, 15 games that don't ask you for any money. People might start be interested in that. You know what I'm saying? So
I think you know, there are a couple people in the chat, definitely a lot of people on Twitter, and I think they don't realize the fact that, you know, the trend out there in terms of gaming, the games that are on top of the list in terms of popularity and people playing them are those active multiplayer online games. Now they point to Sony in terms of their exclusives and kind of like that meta who score, and they point to that, and they try to say like that means a whole bunch. But if you look at the sales for those games in comparison to how many people like had a PS4 or have a PS4 and those games came out, like they shy in comparison. The reason why PlayStation 4 had so many owners and stuff was the fact that they got the Call of Duty marketing rights, and those types of deals like is what really
Destiny too.
It's what really grasped like the more casual market, the one, and it really kind of grabbed onto what is popular today.
And that's gaming. What I've said. That's what I've said is that you're not going to get, except for the first party, you're not going to get a lot of single player games, especially third party, coming to Game Pass. You are going to get multiplayer centric, engaging games that you could pick up on the go and do whatever the hell you want with. And that's a prime example. We just talked about Second Extinction. I guarantee there's going to be a mobile port to that at some point. And yes, at this point in time, you're probably going to have to,
when they can just have it on Game Pass and stream via xCloud.
Dude, it's still going to be on your mobile phone. Look, we are old people, okay? For at least me, I am 33 years old. I played on the original Nintendo, the original Atari, the 2600, okay? The one that actually like had some kind of sustainability at times, all right? I played on older consoles, and one thing I'll tell you is that, you know, the younger generation is more inclined to pick up their phone, and if they're able to play a game that is at least AAA quality, might not be on their phone, but it's still AAA quality, consider AAA quality. There's mad people playing PUBG still on their phone, Fortnite on their phone. There's a reason that these companies are going to that.
Fortnite, when it comes to iOS, Android, actually makes up a very, very small percentage of the money that they make. It's actually PlayStation, PC, Xbox is where they have the most active users on Fortnite. I believe Dark Optimus actually shared that article. Yeah. It was really interesting. But Crispy, we do got to move on. We're winding down in terms of time and stuff like that. So let's go to Predator. Predator is our gaming businessman. He is a part of the gaming stock market per se. Dude, what do you think about this article putting it out there? Again, you know, social media went crazy. $183 million more dollars being put in the first party. Do you think that's a lot of money? What do you think is more important, the fact that they're putting $183 million into first party, or that they're also investing more money into those exclusive rights deals when it comes to like multi-plats and possibly, you know, making them second party, only going to PlayStation on console?
Well, I mean, the amount doesn't seem high enough to me. Like 183 million, and like Crispy was saying, like Microsoft just spent like 7 billion with a, on one company. I mean, so you have to think about what you're going to get with 183 million. Like that's like what, one game? Like maybe I don't know how they're trying to spread that around. I mean, like, and they said first party, so like that's probably the cost of one game. To be honest with you, and so maybe that 183 is going to be spread across several games. That doesn't seem like a lot of money to me, to be honest with you. And then, they don't really talk about how this getting spread around. I
Well,
don't know if this
in
is
the article, it was funny because they this doesn't necessarily mean new games either, because within the
yeah, it's
article
gonna be
they talked
DLC.
about
Be-
expanding studios, like hiring more people and stuff. So if they're already working on a project, they're using we're going to hire more people to finish these projects as a part of that 183 million as well.
Yeah, I mean, and again, this next year may, and I've talked with you guys behind channels before, like like after Ratchet and Clank, what do you have until the next game comes out? Like Sony is basically gonna drop 2 games a year based off of what I see on the first party. You got God of War, you got Horizon West, Frozen West, or Forbidden West, whatever it's called. And that's obviously they're gonna do Last of Us 3 at some point. You don't know how far down the road that is, but like,
Well, they're not even developing that right now. The story's written out, but they're not
yeah,
they're not developing it right now.
I mean, like you don't know, like what's gonna come up in the next 2 years from them after. Obviously, like I said, you're gonna get God of War, you're gonna get Horizon. You'll get a Ghost of Tsushima at some point in time, and I don't think that's anywhere near even being talked about right now. But like, it's like I don't really know what their plan is after. And plus, you obviously you got their VR stuff coming out here soon too. You'll probably see some more announcements for that coming at this E3. But like, as far as first party, I've always said, like, with the amount of studios Microsoft has picked up, it's going to be very hard for Sony to keep pace with how many games they're going to churn out per year. On average, Sony's been dropping like two AAAs, and so is this going to be marketing deals until they get, something revved up for the first party? Is it going to be like the 1 year exclusive shit? Is that what they're spending money on? Like, I don't know. So that will be my only concern about this. And then again, I don't know what Microsoft's budget is for their games. Like, obviously they spent a shitload on first party studios, but they're going to taper back a little bit too. So they may get another studio somewhere in there, but it's definitely going to cost them more than 183 million to get whoever they're trying to get. So it's about the deals, like what I think with Sony, it's going to be marketing deals. That's what that money's going to be spent on. That's just my wild guess. I mean, I don't think it's going to be spent. I don't think they have the money, considering they're losing money on every console they sell. I don't think the money's going to be there until they start pushing out more consoles, get above the bell curve, get out of the bread of selling and actually start earning money on their consoles. Like, this next year is just basically going to be a wash for them. They're just going to try and maintain. So I guess for me, like, I would think like this next year with Sony, it's all about mind share. Just maintain that mind share. And it's really hard to do that right now with Microsoft firing off on all cylinders. So and earning mind share from people that they lost on this last generation. So so I don't think that 183 is a lot, to be honest with you. I just don't think it's enough. They'll get a couple of good deals. They'll probably spend some of that on the Call of Duty deal if they stay with them. But you got to think about, even marketing wise, like, what games are coming out within the next year. Again, other than Call of Duty, like, what are they going to market? What are they going to spend their money on marketing?
Horizon.
No, I mean like third party.
Oh, third party. Yeah. It's a good question.
Microsoft they're going to have EA lined up with them because of Game Pass. If they get Ubisoft, Uplay Plus, they're going to be lined with them with Ubisoft. So they've got Destiny. They lost Destiny, should I say. So if there's anything going on with Destiny, that's probably gonna come to Microsoft. So like, who's out there left?
Oh man.
Like that whole mindset where they could get those third party deals is kind of gone because Microsoft kind of took that from them by partnering with them and using Game Pass to partner with those other companies.
Yeah, especially with like Bungie, which they would benefit, you know, for how Destiny 2 is structured and how they want people to, like, you know, buy seasons and you know, buy silver for cosmetics, and they make a lot of money that way. You know, Game Pass is kind of like right up their alley. So I see what you're saying with that. So yeah, basically, you know, Call of Duty definitely have that anchored down, which is like that's no small dog. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's
like
not. I'm just like with that. If that's all they got, like if you think about the regular yearly releases that come out that Sony kind of chimes in with, you know, like obviously, like I said, we have Bethesda, so Starfield, anything Bethesda, it's definitely gonna be under Microsoft's realm. If they get Uplay Plus, that's definitely gonna be under Microsoft's realm. So you got what are the third party companies are out there? Activision. What's their biggest game?
Call of Duty,
Yeah. So Bungie, what's their biggest game?
Destiny.
Who are they kind of playing with right now?
Well, you know, Xbox with Game Pass, because
Yeah,
it fits their money structure.
So who else do we got out there? Big players, not the smaller companies, but the big players.
Square.
Just thinking out Square, they typically got anything. Well, I don't know.
They usually get Square, anything Square.
Yeah, yeah, they usually do. But like
2K, Rockstar, that's about it.
Rockstar, what are they coming out with the next year?
I don't know. I'm hoping to see the next GTA.
Grand Theft Auto
in
keeps
June,
selling.
Yeah,
Grand Theft
so
Auto keeps selling, dude.
They got the DLC for GTA that they kind of marketed and put in their
I'm
stage
hoping to
last
see
year.
GTA 6. You know, for people who are like, well, GTA 5 is still making money. Well, I'm not making money off of that. I want the next GTA already. Like it's been 2 generations, guys. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they kind of marketed that 4K enhancement for GTA, but like I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at like the big companies. I like the smaller stuff that they can probably get, but like the big companies in their games, like I don't really see an opportunity for them. I'm just again speaking just like within the next year and a little bit longer than that, like the next 18 months. Like I don't see any games coming out that Sony can steal that marketing rights for. That they would spend that 183 million on.
Yeah.
Like I don't see anything out there other than Call of Duty and like Mike said, they got Madden, they've got FIFA, we've got baseball now. I don't know. I just don't see anything out there for them to spend it on. So of course they have to spend it internally on their own first party, which you know, the wording makes it seem that way. Like they can't spend it anywhere else because there's no one to spend it on. There's nothing coming out.
That is a brilliant path. Like I never even thought of it that way, man. That is freaking awesome. Pred, if you don't mind, I want to get Dark in on this because I know he wants to get in on this topic. I heard him at the beginning. So Dark, what do you think about this? 183 million on first party, is that a lot? Is this a mind-blowing situation? What do you think is more important, the investment in first party, like they said, or like I said before, they're also investing on those second party and timed exclusive type deals as well?
I think this is for one exclusive first party, and I think the rest of it's for second party deals.
All right, hold that real quick. Before I forget, and I don't want to forget because sometimes I do miss them. Sir X-Man did hit up the super chat when we were talking about the Marvel fighting game, and I gotta say this because this is one of my favorite fighting games. He said you cannot forget the great DOA as a great fighter. Yes, it is, brother. One of my tops, one of my absolute favorite fighting franchise, and shout out to you for bringing up Dead or Alive, man. Yeah, but go ahead, Dark.
That's the thing. I think, like I said, is that this is probably for a first party game, and the rest of it will be the second party deals that they're gonna make, and I don't think it's gonna be like any of the big like players like Pred was saying. I think they're going after like the little bit more maybe not as well known, but still kind of have made a game that has done well type of companies. So like people can fly, something like that.
Like mid range.
Mid range, things like that. Which is fine and dandy, but I mean, here's that's the thing. Like, I think it's really gonna come down to what's gonna happen this summer with E3 and what's gonna happen with the rest of the year. Like is it because I know Pro was saying that they came out with 2 exclusives, and they've actually come out with 3 exclusives this year. I know a lot of people don't want to consider Destruction All Stars as an exclusive. It is though.
Even the
it
Sony
is
fan
there.
base doesn't really mention that anymore.
Yeah, I mean it's not a very good game, but it is there. It is an exclusive. So we'll see if I mean, I'm sure they're gonna have something during the holidays. Or at least, well, they do. They have Kenna, but yeah, it's not a first
Gotta get
party
pushed back.
game. That's not a first party game, but it is um a second party deal that they have that I think is a timed exclusive that that's what they're going for. And because that's how they're going to combat, because let's be honest, PlayStation can't afford to buy a $7 billion company. They don't have the money to do it. They can't do it. So that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna go after these second party deals. They're gonna try to make, these AAA exclusive games, first party games for their console, and hopefully it'll sustain them. Here, and that's the thing. I know a lot of people are saying, well, they need to make a Game Pass. I don't think they have the money to do it. They don't have the money to do it.
No, they don't. They would have to. They would have
They-
to literally go to
Ye-
bankruptcy to do
yeah,
it. You know what I'm
they
saying?
would. Exactly. They would have to. They would have to borrow money from somebody that's bigger than them to do a Game Pass. It's just not sustainable for them. It's sustainable for Xbox because Xbox is fucking. They got Microsoft. Like Microsoft is what, one of the biggest companies
$1.3
in the
trillion
world.
company.
Exactly. They're the biggest. They're one of the biggest companies in the world. Period. So they have so much money that they can just throw around 7 billion and be fine. They have so much money they can put their games in Game Pass and be fine. PlayStation does not have that luxury. They just don't. And that's why, I cannot get behind the PlayStation having a Game Pass because it's not going to sustain them. What's going to sustain them?
No. What I'm telling you, Dark, is if they took themselves to a point at the brink of destruction, okay, it would probably catch on at some point because for some reason Xbox really hasn't released any game that's even close to what PlayStation releases, and that's the one niche they have right now.
Yeah.
Because and that one niche is it's almost like playing a movie. You know what I'm saying? And
Well, it's
that is
sustaining
something that is something to people, and it makes sense that it is. It's not my thing, but I don't not acknowledge that it means something. And
Yeah.
I feel like if they brought out the gate like they're talking like they're bringing out a lot of games, well,
Which they are, yeah.
Well, but here's the point, like,
but it's not going to be like first party games like people are thinking that it's going to be.
But even second party,
it's
for
still
example,
going to be.
Think about it. Destruction All Stars is in Plus right now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it was. It's not anymore. It was.
But it was, and now it's not. Like that's the whole point. Like people are constantly like, like it's considered a Sony first party game, and you're like, is it going to be there? And now it's not. And I didn't even know that. I'm being honest. Like Like, and that's the question that you have, like, what are you doing? And that's what I always say. Like, do you want now to be something? Do you want Plus to be something? Do you want to combine the two? What do you want to do? And I feel like they're
I think
kind
they
of
have plans.
misdirected at this point. I'm sorry.
They have plans for it. They have plans for certain things, but they I will admit they are terrible at communicating with people and communicating to the community about things, because I feel like they keep things quiet, like how Apple is, like, where they just keep things quiet until they're ready to say something about it. And that's the thing, like, PlayStation it's not going to go anywhere, but if you're expecting a Game Pass on PlayStation, it's probably not going to happen. Can it happen? Possibly, yeah. But is it gonna? I just don't see it being sustainable for them. It's sustainable for Microsoft and Xbox, yes, because they have the money to do it. But for PlayStation, they don't have the infrastructure, they don't have the way to build that, and to be honest, I think they're just at the point where they want to focus on their first party exclusives and getting those second party deals, just to stay within the industry as a whole.
Well, Dark, I will let you know, we will agree to disagree on, they're not going to do a Game Pass type service, because like I said, they were already hiring people to rework PlayStation Now. We have to
which
see
is what they're gonna do, but it's not gonna be like a day and date like Game Pass.
Well,
I'm telling you right now,
that's
it's not
gonna
gonna
be the question.
It's not gonna be day one exclusives like Game Pass is.
Well,
I feel like that's what it's gonna come down to. It's not gonna be. It may be like a year or 2 years where they put those games into PlayStation Now or whatever it's called, and because they want to make that money, they want to make that $70 money. That's what they want, and you can't blame them for that. You can't.
$70 through a few million people, or you get a stream of revenue coming in per month. I mean, that's the question right there. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do, what these people that they hired, to do, what the plans are for this. But we do know that they are reworking it. We do know that when it comes to the gaming community, again, the newer wallets out there, this is a direction that would really be susceptible to the new wallets out there, as well as people who don't necessarily think like dinosaurs and are willing to kind of go with the direction of the industry and the community. But it's going to be interesting to see, because PlayStation is looked at because of how many sales they have with consoles. A lot of people look at them as like number one in the gaming console space, all that good stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what they do to move into the future. I want to get Pong's thoughts on this as well. We haven't heard from our special guest in a while, so. What do you think about this Sony investment? Do you think it's enough money to go into first party? And like I asked everybody else, do you think the whole kind of news about them investing more in second party and kind of like timed exclusive and stuff like that, is that more important than what they're doing with the $183 million for first party?
No, I mean, I think they're both. It's hard to say. I mean, again, the number itself I could care less about, because like. You said in the beginning, Xbox, I mean, what does that mean to us? If we don't know the breakdown over exactly what they're going to do with it, I mean, that could be a drop in the bucket, or, that could mean a couple big things. The deal with this is that anybody who thought Sony was going to sit back and not have some type of response, obviously was out of their minds. And that's why when all the rumblings were going on, the doom and gloom about Sony, I was like, come on, guys, this is Sony, okay? They're going to be fine. They may not be able to compete, and I think everybody is spot on. They're not going to be able to compete one for one with what Xbox is doing. That's impossible. They don't have the bankroll, pure and simple. And what Microsoft brings Xbox is that unlimited bankroll. And I know it's not unlimited, but in the grand scheme of things, when you're talking about this industry, it's probably the biggest budget out there. And Microsoft is behind it 100%. So that, Xbox has basically a blank check to go grow their new platform, which is Game Pass, as fast as needed. And with the numbers that are popping up, that confidence continues to grow when you're talking about Satya and the board. So therefore, that Phil's able to do what he wants to. Basically, at this point, he's proven his point over and over again. Now, as far as Sony goes with this money, we've heard, plenty of smoke that Sony is growing their first-party teams in their own studios, okay, which makes perfect sense. Now, if they're going to do some type of service that's like Game Pass, and again, I think for the first time ever, we have all three major players, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, doing their own things this generation. When we come to the end of this generation, none of them are going to be doing the exact same thing. Nintendo's already been doing their own thing for a long time, right? They're in their own pond. They don't
sold
care.
us cardboard.
Correct. Anybody who can stamp Nintendo and sell cardboard, that company's made it. Again, I respect that hustle all day long. I respect it. That is something special. So they're off all on their own. But now we see Sony and Microsoft diverging on different paths. And that's simply because Microsoft basically picked up their ball and said, guess what? We're going to play a new game. And we're going to play a game that we know you guys can't follow us. Right. And that's exactly what they did. And they took the lead. And now the lead is getting to the point where it's nearly insurmountable. I don't think that there's a chance that any service could ever come along. I don't care, even if it's from Amazon, unless Amazon were to buy Sony, which maybe down the road. But I don't think that they could even come up with a service as good as Game Pass that would be able to catch up. Right. I think it's Game Pass now is in the position, as long as Xbox doesn't trip themselves, to be the Netflix of gaming. OK, and I still hate that analogy just because there are some big major differences there. But it's the one that works the best and it's the easiest to picture. I think they become Netflix.
It's the one that gets digested the easiest.
Correct. Everybody else is going to be scrambling to become the Disney Plus or whatever the case may be, right? That's kind of where we're at.
Which isn't bad.
No, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. So I see Sony going to a hybrid version because they can't compete one for one. But even to do a hybrid version, okay, because I don't think they're going to be able to put every single, big AAA game day and date on any type of service they come up with. I don't think they can do that. I think they do need those initial sales. Now, 6 months, I think they might be able to start dropping them 6 months. And you might have one or two games, like a Returnal. I think if they came up with a service, a Returnal could drop day and date. But if you're talking about like an Uncharted or a Last of Us or whatever the case is, a new Spider-Man or Miles Morales, you're not going to see those day and date ever. Okay, I don't believe they can do that. But they do need to have other content as well. You have to have content. And right now they don't have the number of studios necessary to come up with enough content from their first parties to keep a base satisfied with paying a monthly subscription. And they're not going to be able to go out and make as many deals as Microsoft is doing with third parties and second parties. Okay, it's just not going to be physically possible for them. So what they're going to have to do is they have to beef up their first party studios. I think they're trying to double most of their major studios sizes so they can all be working on 2 projects at one time. Okay, so then you can get a little bit better consistent flow from those studios, because we know those studios, with the quality they put out, most of them require anywhere from 3 to 5, sometimes even 6 years to get a game out. So I think if they can double their sizes, get 2 projects into each one of those teams, or 2 teams underneath each one of those studios with 2 projects, I think then you can get a more consistent flow, and you can create some more diversity. Now, we also saw them go out and make a deal to get a studio, Firewalk Studio,
to
start working on a multiplayer game. Why they're doing that? Because they understand that if they are interested, and obviously, again, we heard from Jim Ryan, they're still talking to Microsoft about getting some type of service together. Okay. They need that different content, and they need the content that's going to keep people engaged. As other people touched on here, the single player stuff is fantastic. It sells itself. It's beautiful, but does it keep people engaged for long enough? You see Microsoft over here hoarding Western RPG developers. Why? Engagement. Those games keep people engaged for hundreds of hours. Okay. That is important. Then you see Microsoft also multiplayer focused. Why? Because it's, again, engagement. That's the new rules of this game. It's engagement. The other old stuff doesn't matter so much anymore. So Sony's got a win with their first parties, making these single player experiences that millions upon millions of people want. Okay. Again, just like Crispy said, I'm never going to deny what they do is not absolutely fantastic. It is. Those experiences you don't get a whole lot of places. Sony's providing that. But in the meantime, in between, they need all these other genres. Now they can get RPGs, right? They can get JRPGs from Square. We've seen them do the deals before. They got great relationships in other places. They can get those types of games, but they're missing multiplayer. So what do they do? Go out and invest in a second-party studio to make a multiplayer game. We don't know what Jade Raymond's team is going to do yet, but we saw investment there, right? That's the small stuff that you're going to start to see. And eventually, I think they'll get to the point where they're confident, where they can get enough. They can be confident where they got enough stuff, enough content, enough stuff in the pipeline where then they can really solidify what their service is going to look like, whatever it's going to be. A combination with, adding movies and music in along with their games, for one set price. I think it's a good way to go. Maybe they partner this partnership with Netflix. Maybe it's a little bit stronger. Maybe they throw in the Netflix in on top of it. Whatever that looks like.
The movie and music thing, because at the end of the day, PlayStation is funding the Sony Corporation.
Yes. Correct.
So, it would be a no-brainer to put their movies and music in their service as well, because then they'll get new fans to those pieces of media. You know what I'm saying?
Especially since their movie studio isn't very good right now, is not in a good place.
Right.
I mean, it could bring some revenue into that. I mean, I am looking forward to Ghostbusters Afterlife, but we'll see if that's any good, because they knew they fucked up with the Ghostbusters of 2018 or whatever, and they're hurting over there at Sony Pictures for sure.
Yeah. And you just got to use what you have. Sony has to go to what they have, right? Again, they're not going to create, they're not going to create 10 studios out of the blue. They're not going to be able to go out and buy a publisher like ZeniMax and just say, well, now we're good. They can't do that. They can't risk that. So they got to use what they got. And what do they have? They've got all this other media content that they can pool in and create value. And that's what they have to do. They have to create some kind of service with value that's going to make people want to stick around and make people want to have that monthly subscription. Again, I don't think it's going to be the main source. I don't think they're going to try to go the Microsoft way, where we know for a fact that I can see down the road Game Pass being the absolute only service that Microsoft deals in at some point in their future. Okay, whether that's 5 years, whether that's 10 years, whether that's 15 years from now, Game Pass could be it. Wherever you go, it's just Game Pass, right? That I can see in the future. But for Sony, I don't think they could ever get to that point unless something, unless their fortunes of Sony Corp itself changes somewhere. And all of a sudden,
it's a miracle, right?
Yes, right. Unless they have some kind of new technology that they develop and nobody else has got. Because, last time they tried that, we got the cell processor that was supposed to take over the world. And we know that didn't work out too well. So, but no, so I think it's definitely going to be a part of expanding their studios, looking at some smaller second and third party deals, getting those going. But I think more focused on expanding their own internal studios so that they can get more projects out of those studios on a consistent basis. That's where I think a lot of this money is going to go.
Wow, that made a lot of sense. And again, adding the movies and music, I think would be a no brainer for them because like Sony Corporation as a whole, they can't. They, people talk about how much money PlayStation has made, and I'm like, yeah, but a lot of that is going to hold up the movies and going to hold up the music because they're not getting rid of
No,
those.
that's holding up a big fat ass elephant that they can't hold up.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's like, okay, yeah, you're happy PlayStation is making so much money, but like
Yeah.
they need it to maintain its corporation status.
Right. That's
Yeah.
why you seem so risk adverse right now, too. And that's what Jim Ryan was hired to do. That's why Jim Ryan won out, right? That's why he got the powers because they want him to come in and cut the fat. That was the whole point of the Jim Ryan move. They knew they needed somebody who was a numbers guy who would just look at sheets and go, nope, we don't need this. Japan Studios, not making us money, gone.
Yeah.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what his main job is to do, is to tighten the belt so they can be lean and mean so that they don't have all this risk or this, wasted money to them, wasted money that they just simply don't have.
Which is why I think that they were kind of, and I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but I think they were kind of smart to shut down the servers for PS Vita and PS3 and PSP.
Oh, the stores, but they.
I mean, they reversed that, but
Yeah.
they were smart enough to do that because they were cutting. People don't
trimming
realize
the
that
fat,
they were
yeah.
exactly they were trimming the fat. And if you want more games and you want more exclusives, you need to do that. Like.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well,
No, you're right.
the cool thing about this, like Pong made a lot of sense, and this might be a highlight of the show because we're gonna go from Pong to K Mega. Now, K Mega, I know you sat back and you're like, wow, our special guest made a lot of sense. But what do you think about this 183 million, man? Do you think it's a lot? Do you think it's what people out there on social media claim it is, and do you think that or their investment in their timed exclusive and second party deals that I also read about, if that's more important, to
Well,
them?
no, I mean, listen, Pong is solid. You know what I'm saying? He does his homework, his due diligence. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The man is doing his thing, man. He's going to be up and become a star. Just with my boy, Still Rain, no doubt about it. So, you know what I'm saying? That he was absolutely right on everything. So this is the thing I want to bring to you. Okay. Closures. Big. Evolution. Gorilla Cambridge. Studio Liverpool. Studio Manchester. Zipper Interactive. Team Ico. Team Silent. Team Gravity. Japan Studios. The secret San Diego Studios that was supposed to be out and about and all that, gone. Finito curtains. Trimming the fat beforehand, before even Jim Ryan even stepped into the realm of being the man in charge. What he is now basically the anti person that was there before him. Because Sean Layton, which Sean Layton was all about, we're going to invest more into our IPs. We're going to invest more into our studios. We're going to bring immerse, powerful, single player experiences on top of adding maybe doing the same things that we've always been doing, but then giving more into our ecosystem. Sony CEO wasn't even having all that because they decided to trim the fat, just like Microsoft did in that period of time of when Don Matrick was about to be out of there, and right before
He was part of that fat.
Right, he was part of that fat before, and also before Phil Spencer took over, and then Phil Spencer came up there to the new CEO of Microsoft and said, "Look, we either end or we're not. I don't want to be hampered down by anybody. Listen, this company makes a lot of money. We can make risks. We can try to do things and try to bring something different into the gaming genre than what our competition is doing. So either we're in or we're not." And so then we look at what we're seeing with Sony. A lot of people didn't like that. That's why a lot of people left. I said that on RDX Tuesday, and I just said, look, when Andrew House left, just abruptly out of the blue, Yeah, Sony was on top. Yeah, that's the best time for you to leave and to bow out gracefully when you get another ring. But the fact of it is that, listen, right before that, they didn't even make the playoffs because the PlayStation 3 was looked at and shunned by so many. Even though it did sell so many consoles, it still was not the darling. 360 and the Wii was the darlings of that gen previous to last gen. So, all that being said, Sony Sony over here talking about this money, trying to talk like they big money, and people over here trying to pretend like this is real money. Let me just break this down to you. The last Tomb Raider game was upwards of $100 million. The
Yeah.
last game, the last Kojima game. Not, well, I should say the last Kojima. The last Metal Gear game that Kojima was behind was upwards of $100 million.
Halo was 100.
Yeah,
The
Halo
new one.
5. Yeah, well, no, we don't even. Halo 5 was
Yeah.
upwards of $100 million. You want to sit here and talk about the last time that there was a game that looked like that was affordable, that was a award-winning game? You got to go back to 2015 when there was The Witcher 3, which was $46 million to make. So,
wow, that was 46 million, and it came out like that.
yes, and it was broken as fuck before it came out, and
That
then
is true.
it eventually got to where it needed to be. You know what I'm saying? So just think about that, and then if you really want to try to think and try to compare The Last of Us 2, that was well over 100 million plus.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So again, if PlayStation stands are out here trying to try to damage control and try to make this out to be like, well, 135 million is it? Oh man, they're really putting it. No, what Sony is telling you is that we're investing more into second and third party, and for already the budgets that we've already implemented into Horizon, God of War, GT, and for whatever else that they've had coming out, like Ratchet and Clank, Returnal, etc. That's what we've already done. This is what we're doing going forward. That's what they're doing. And what that's telling me is that what you're about to see is Sony's version of Halo, Gears, and Forza. They're going to invest. They're going to invest more into indies, into second and third party exclusive deals, to where they can hold those games for a while. And let me just go ahead and say this. Let me give a shout out to this is something that we definitely going to be talking about tomorrow night.
Oh, Portal Player says you're making up numbers right now.
Didn't you just tell me the number? Didn't you just read the numbers of what Sony just said that they were going to do? Or is he saying I'm making up the numbers that of how much these games cost?
Yeah.
No, he's saying that you're making up numbers of what the game cost. But I just checked.
Google.
I just checked for The Last of Us 2, and in order to make that game, it was upward of $100 million to make that game.
Look at the
You're not wrong.
Yeah. So look at The Witcher is one of my favorite games of all time. The Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. So I already know that just by me thinking. It was around 45 to 50 million. I think it was like 46, 47 million, right? So again, when you look at that, so listen, if Sony wants to go into that, go into making games around that, look, that is a strong budget. But listen, this is something that I found out myself the other night, is that when you want to make a AAA game, it's going to cost you upwards of 80 million plus to make a AAA game. So which is telling me is Sony is going to be heavily invested into doing those deals where they hold on to where they do those semi-exclusive deals for so long. And let me give a big shout out to Grown Women of Gaming, because they found out something Saturday that I didn't even think about, and it's tripping me out. And then there was an article that came out the same day. Returnal. It has a It has this. If you look at the Returnal game, and it says, if you want to buy the highest version of Returnal, it has all of these things that you can get for the game, but it has a PlayStation 4 like audio book, or like something like that, like an audio book or something like that, Why the hell would it have a PlayStation 4 audio book if it's only just for the PlayStation 5? Think about this, and then also within that same day, there was a report that Godfall will be coming to the PlayStation 4. Look at the numbers. Numbers do not lie.
There's even a rumor that Destruction All Stars is coming to PS4.
Exactly. So if you're going to pay for a deluxe version of Returnal, and then you get some kind of PS4 soundtrack or digital book or some kind of crazy shit, why would you even mention the PlayStation 4 unless that game is going to be available on the PlayStation 4 at a later date? Also, a game that I've been looking forward to. I've been following that developer for a very long time. Single developer. He's doing the Soul Aside. I've showed a lot of his gameplay on GRG for many moons, because I think what he's going to be bringing to the table is going to be fantastic. I don't think people are going to expect what he's going to be bringing, because he's still going to have a budget. But the Soul Aside is going to be a dope ass game. No doubt about that. But that game is going to be on the PlayStation 4. And then there's going to be a version of the PlayStation 5. So if that game is going to be on the PlayStation 4, why wouldn't that Godfall wouldn't be available to be coming on the PlayStation 4 as well? I think that Sony was trying to give the notion that, oh, these games are only capable enough to play on the PlayStation 5. Right. And generations matter. But then when it got reversed all of a sudden, that's telling me that we'll be seeing a lot more of these games, and they already gave the indication with their biggest IPs that God of War and that Horizon game will be on the PlayStation 4 as well. So if those games, which will have a bigger budget, yes, you didn't see that
for sure.
They announced that a while back.
Yeah, they said that a while back.
And a lot of those games are going to go to PC too, probably.
Right, and
because they need the money.
Exactly, because they're going to need the money. So the fact of it is this: Sony knows where their toast is buttered. They think that because they have a strong fan base that can just say and do and will religiously follow them, however they see fit, that other gamers is going to follow suit too. Listen, I think Returnal looks like a really fun game. I would play that shit day one. Would I pay
I bought it, so
yeah. Would I? Well, as a person that doesn't have a PlayStation 5 yet, if I did have a PlayStation 5, I would buy it. Well, no, I probably wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy it first because I would get Ratchet and Clank first, because I like Ratchet and Clank a lot, and it looks fantastic. Yeah. But what I would say to this is that now seeing what they did in the deluxe version. No. Returnal seems to me that they're going to be giving a version of that to the PlayStation 4. So I will get it. I will support it.
Downgraded version though.
Well, of course, because this is the new strategy that Sony is doing now. Instead of what Xbox is doing by saying this is X and S enhanced. Sony is saying first come, Sony is saying first come, first serve. We're giving you the best version available now, and then we'll give you the dumbed down version later. And it's smart strategy, but it's also the reason why they're doing all the shit that they're doing by putting their games on the PC now. And now all of a sudden we're making games so-called multi-plat and not just keeping it exclusive on the consoles. For these stands to keep on trying to use these stupid ass tropes and moving the goalposts, they're going to move the goalposts again because they're over here bragging about Returnal. But I suspect that Returnal is going to be coming to the PlayStation 4 on top of God. If we see Godfall is going to come to Xbox, but if Godfall comes to the PlayStation 4, all bets are off. You can't believe anything what Sony is telling you, and you can wait. That's just the absolute truth of it. Listen. This $135 million, like everybody said before me, is just broken down the facts, is that isn't a lot of money. Mark Cerny said that a long time ago. It costs too much money. When you're looking at the actors that you got to implement, when you got to look at the the production, the advertising. Why you, man? We're known for Sony giving crazy killer advertising for all of their big titles that they know that's coming out here. Why the fuck are we ain't seen a lot about Ratchet and Clank? Why we haven't seen anything about Returnal? Only time that we've seen it is just on the internet, or but what somebody else has sit here and put out there for the public. It is the absolute reverse of what we've been seeing from Xbox last gen to now what Sony is doing this gen. They're hurting. They need the money, and because of Sony Pictures going through what they're going through right now, they better have some hits, or they're going to be hit more. That's my theory on it.
Mm. And just one thing on Returnal real quick. And, shout out to the chat for this, because you guys know I do not follow Metacritic. And this is one of the reasons why. Like, from what I'm seeing, I guess Returnal got an 87 on MetaWho.
It did, yeah.
And Ghost of Tsushima got an 83 on
Which
MetaWho.
Is mind-boggling, to be honest.
How are you guys, you Sony faithful out there, how are you not saying how the hell did that happen? Like, that just proves what a flawed system
I guess
is.
I guess we'll find out when Returnal hits, is it gonna be the game that people are like, holy crap, this is insane, or are they gonna be like, Ghost of Tsushima was better, and what the fuck,
Yo, Cred, why are you messing with Albert so much, man?
Listen. Let's just be real about this. I'm all about new games coming out, new IPs and things like that. But let's just make this clear. I played and I beat Ghost of Tsushima. That and I have the Last of Us 2. I've got God of War. I have Horizon Zero. I bought Horizon Zero Dawn twice. I got it on the PC. I got it on PlayStation 4. I have Gran Turismo. I have 130. I have 110. I'm sorry. I was going to say 130. I have 110 or 11 PlayStation games. Ghost of Tsushima was one of the best PlayStation games that I've played.
Definitely.
In a long time. Returnal, I think it looks great. I would play it day one, but in no way, shape, or form is that story is going to be anywhere compelling to what Ghost of Tsushima was, or the gameplay, even if the gameplay is solid, because this is why. If you said that Recore was an awful game and it's trash and it's one of those games that should have never existed, you're looking at a game that's implementing the same type of gameplay that Recore has. Bullshit. I think that this is one of those things where Metacritic make themselves look fraudulent. If people, what I'm saying, that's to me is why I think that this game, listen, I want to see the PlayStation 5 community get out there and show with their money and show and prove and prove me wrong. If that game doesn't do anything,
they're not going to prove you wrong, because you know why? A lot of them don't buy the games, man. Right. That's the problem with
listen, if they don't go out there and do the same type of numbers as Days Gone, then they're all fraudulent, and nobody should listen to anything that they got to say.
Especially when they're touting that $70 is nothing,
right?
And I'm out here, I'm buying these games. I'm buying them. I bought Returnal. I have it.
I bought Returnal. What?
You can
check.
If
I had a PlayStation 5. I bought Ratchet & Clank, but I would get Returnal eventually. Yes.
You can go on PSN and look me up, and you'll find my trophies, and you'll see what games I bought and played and stuff like that. And majority of the PlayStation games that are out there, I've played them. So I mean,
he doesn't hide
and I
his
bought
trophies.
Yeah. And I bought them day one too. I didn't wait or anything like that.
Right.
I mean, I'm not an advocate of buying a day one if you can't afford it. Definitely, if you cannot afford it, do not buy a day one. Wait for a sale. Do what you got to do, but at least support these games and play them, man. Because all these people are touting this, but why do you think? I mean, yeah, we may have gotten a Days Gone 2, but Days Gone 2 apparently didn't sell well because Sony didn't put out the numbers, and apparently, we're not going to get one right away, at least,
And just so, just real quick before we start winding down. That's the funny thing to me. $183 million invested in first party, but when it came down to it, Days Gone didn't do the numbers that Sony wanted, so they're not doing a sequel. So what are they using this low amount of money for, and what are their expectations for, what's going to come out of it? And shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up that super chat one more time. Brother, you have gone crazy tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much for the support, man. He says 5 million sold games, 120 million gamers is not enough to make the kind of money that you need to make per game. Their players need to buy more games. And Sir X-Man, that is something. When people tout how many games were sold for like Spider-Man or something like that, and I think about how many PlayStation 4s and such were out in the wild at that point in time, I'm like, why are you even championing that right now? Because
it's because the majority of gamers last gen were casuals. So of course they didn't go out and buy Spider-Man. They didn't go out and buy
casuals aren't loyal to any company.
Exactly.
They want the value.
So it's like if you guys want these games to continue to you want people to invest in these games, you are gonna have to take it upon yourself as a PlayStation gamer who loves PlayStation to buy these games and not expect the casuals to buy these games, because they're not going to do it.
Right. They're saying that there's 7.8 million, and this is the thing that trips me out, right? And I'm sorry to RV I can't say his name right. RGV.
RG Viper?
Yeah, RG Viper. I'm sorry, man. I know my mic is fucked up. I'm trying to you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, it's fucked up. I'm sorry. But this is the thing here. The problem overall is that there's so many people that's been capping about, the lack of value. And this is something that I said on Tuesday that I'm saying tonight, and I'll say tomorrow, and I'll keep saying. I'll say it on Devin the Gamer. I'll say it every goddamn where. Listen, if you were a person that red boxed your games, that was supported, that got your games from Blockbuster, that got your games from Hollywood Video, that sit here and sign up to what was
Gamefly.
that, Gamefly, or if you was in that group when Netflix was actually sending your games to your house, then you
Which didn't last very long.
well, no, that should stay a couple of years for over here, but we're different. I mean,
here.
California is a lot more advanced than out here in Oklahoma when it comes to that type of shit. But regardless of what I'm saying is that you're frauding the public, because there is not one person that I do not know that doesn't want value. Even if you know what I'm saying, look, if everybody has a certain game or games, and I would give everybody a list of 10 that they would spend top dollar for, or even more, like they'll get collector's items. After that 10, nobody gives a shit, because that's the thing right there, because I want to learn experiences and play games that I've never played before, or that I may have I've seen that I'm like, man, Shenmue 3? I played Shenmue 3. You know what I'm saying? I got to give a big shout out to my boy Lou. He sit there and hooked me up with that game. I've been wanting to get the game, but I refused to pay $60 for that game. And thank God Almighty that I didn't. They kickstart. They went on the stage, on PlayStation stage, if you remember, and asked for a Kickstarter for gamers to pay for within that game, and then Sony
That's why I dislike Kickstarter, because Kickstarter is just it's not sustainable for gaming. For film it is, for film, but for gaming, you're not gonna get enough money from people to make a big budget AAA game. It's just not going to happen.
And the one problem with that is that, like, I was playing it because I was anticipating. I was excited to play in Shenmue 3. That game is nowhere near right with the budget. That game is not very good. And I don't like saying that about games. It just didn't.
Especially classics like that.
Right, like a classic like that, it should have got so much more support. And I am disappointed that game did not come out. Is where I've played about like 6 hours into that, and the fighting mechanics is not right. the game feels so. It feels like you play it on the 360, but it got a little polish that's comparable to the 360 or maybe early last gen. That to me is disgusting. And then so that to me is where like now it's like people want value. People are looking. People are hurting. People are going through all types of situations right now. And if gaming can get us out of the rut to where we can all appreciate what is available, then damn it, Sony. If Sony could do it, I would be all over the same type of the same type of value that Xbox is giving us. If Nintendo could do it, I would sign up for it in a minute. People cannot be trying to make other people scared of fucking value. To me,
Hold
they
on,
just
real,
can't.
real quick.
They can't.
I just want to say this before people get the wrong idea. Yo, shout out to RG Viper X for hitting up the super chat. Yo, thank you so much for the support, bro. You are one of the huge supporters on this channel. But check this out. He said, "Can we get multiple super chats to help K Mega get the new Bangs?"
Boy, you talk. That's a big money.
I
ain't gonna get it here. I ain't gonna get it here.
Let me finish this real quick. He says, "Let's go to GRG." And help out. So he's not saying it for this show right now. Before you start hitting up the super chat, and helping out K Mega, it's not for this show.
He's for this one, you help out Xbox.
Yeah.
You gotta help out Xbox.
GRG,
you can't help out Xbox.
Night, okay.
Fuck that guy. You don't need to help out Xbox. You need to help out K Mega. So go over to
Thank you for that super chat. That is amazing. But bro, those I would take any type of headsets or mic or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just my shit is just they just happen to just fall apart just within the last 2 weeks, man. I don't know what the fuck happened, but thank you for that. That is a blessing.
No
thank
doubt.
you, sir.
Yo, shout out
for
to
the
Viper,
offer.
man. Yo, my brother. But yo, guys, on that note, man, it is time to wind it down. Yo, we just introduced Pong Soul to the marathon of podcasts right now with the next podcast. Brother, you've watched the show, so I think.
Oh, I know. Are you kidding me? I knew what I was getting into.
Okay, all right. For some rhyme and reason, man, we go off, and then it's just how it is. We love talking about games, and we go off on our thoughts and opinions, and before you know it, it's almost 3 hours in and whatnot. But
look, Xbot, Steel and I on Saturday mornings we go.
I was just going to bring that point.
Just him and I.
Yeah.
Okay, just him and I over 2 hours. Okay,
and then you got to look at because he's also on a competition. Well, it's friendly competition, quote unquote. But on Fun Speculations podcast, They were over 2 hours and 30 minutes. GRG set the tone, goddammit.
Oh yeah.
Listen.
I don't think that was GRG.
3-4 hours. Hey, listen. No. There one podcast. Everybody was trying to cut that shit off. GRG said, "Fuck it, we going long and strong."
Does anybody actually even watch that show?
No, nobody watched GRG.
Look, hey Mega, I think your after shows are more legendary. Man, I tried to hit Steel up after GRG, and he's like, "Nah, man, I'm still sitting back here."
Oh yeah, man, like
more
fools don't ever want to go
GRGs,
nowhere.
to be honest, I'm just putting this out there. I've been on some of the most legendary GRGs of all time. I'm just saying.
Man, stop it. Anyway, but go ahead, man. I'm sorry. Let this man do this outro. I'm gonna shut the hell up.
Nice. Yo, and I gotta say, shout out to the chat. You guys have been absolutely incredible tonight. So engaged in the topic, so many opinions and such. And I still don't know why Pred went unbelievably crazy on Albert, timed him out a few times or whatnot. I didn't see what was going on, but he did say, Albert said that I'm nice. And like I don't know how you could delete that, bro. That's messed up. But and,
he did it again.
He did him again. Hey, Fred, don't play that shit, man.
Yo,
I gotta make Fred a moderator on my shit.
Yo, and I do want to say a huge shout out to our brother Pong Soul, which I first saw him in the chat on this show, and he blew up so much within the community, sharing out all the shows, letting people know, and coming out with creative ways to share the shows out on Twitter. Really getting in and getting people to be like, hey man, I should probably check out that show. Pong, I appreciate all that you do for the community, all the shows, everything like that. And you are on shows, in fact, yourself. So this is your first outro for Next Podcast. Let people know where they can go and check you out to talk about gaming news, and let them know what social media you're on to talk games as well, bro.
Absolutely. Thank you again for the invite, Xbox. Xbox, this was a long time coming. Nothing but love and respect for all of you on this panel. You know, again, K Mega, I watch your stuff. Pred, I've been listening to you for a long time. Obviously, Crispy, I've had the pleasure of working with before as well, and listening to him nonstop. And Dark Optimus, I mean, fantastic takes, man. I always love listening to you on this show.
Thanks,
So nothing but love and respect for you guys. So thanks for having me. You guys can find me Pong Soul everywhere, Xbox, Twitter. You guys know the drill. Right after this show, if you guys got nothing going on, Fun Pop is going on. That's another fun speculation show that's happening right now, and they talk movies and all sorts of stuff. And I'm joining Steel over there, and we're doing a living split screen combination over there. Otherwise, Friday nights, Xbox Ultimate. Again, of course, up against GRG, but you know, it's just friendly. It's no big deal. We got 2 successful shows, and that's on Fun Speculations channel as well. And that's 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. Saturday mornings, that's when Steele and I wake you up on Living Split Screen. Come check us out. The community support has been absolutely just stunning, man. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, it's been crazy how many people have showed up there each and every week. We've got episode 6 coming up this Saturday. That starts at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time, 3 p.m. UK time for all the European friends. And then Saturday nights, you can find me on the Shop Podcast with PTK Blam, Fuzzy Belvedere, Centurion, and Stagorilla. And that goes at 9. And this week, I should mention, this week we've got Josh Muncie from Xbox Marketing on. So that's going to be a big deal.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. Huge deal. Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central Time. And then Tuesdays, you can find me on the Xbox Factor podcast, Mr. Boomstick's second Xbox Factor podcast. That is with him, Zemi, and myself. And that starts at 12 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time. So again, thank you all. Chat, you guys were absolutely amazing. I was reading through the comments. You guys are having great discussions along with us. Your support is necessary to do what we do here. Without you guys, we're nothing. We're talking in closets by ourselves. So appreciate you all. Thank you. And nothing but love, guys.
How did you know what I did before I was on YouTube, man? Just talking in closets by myself, yo. Like,
Yeah. He did a little bit
Good
more than
guess, good
talking
guess.
in closets by himself.
That's a little
I'm just
creepy.
saying.
Yo, you shut up, Dark. Well, speaking of Dark, man, let's go with the man who has the rhythm for the outro. Dark Optimus, what do you got for us, bro?
Yeah, man, you guys can find me on Twitter at Dark Optimus. You can also find me on Xbox and PlayStation at the same name, man. And it was a pleasure to have Pongso on tonight, man. Absolutely fantastic podcaster, dude. You're gonna go far. I can already see it, dude. And
Thank you, brother.
and I can't wait to see what you do next, you know, in the future
Dude,
and
I
stuff,
don't know
man.
if he has any
So-
time with all the shows he has.
I know, man. He's on like every podcast. I'm all like he's on that podcast too. I'm like shit. Holy crap. But yeah, man. But you guys can find me here every Thursday on the next podcast, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Nice, brother. And Crispy, you've been quiet for a while, man. I hope you're still there, because it is time for you to go and run off your list of shows that you're on and where people can go to talk games with you, brother.
Cool story.
Gears, and more gears. And
Hey,
listen
guess
here,
what?
I'll be
Returnal
on Boom
looks like
in
Gears.
the morning.
Returnal looks like Gears.
I'll be in gear. Listen. What was the word that he said tonight? Plethora of gears.
Plethora.
The plethora
Plethora.
of gears with Boom in the mornings.
Man, you're
Friday tomorrow.
You're still country, man. You can't even say plethora.
Plethora. Listen. Let me be country. I'm an Oklahoman. Give a fuck about that. Just for me to say the word, I should. Your lady should give me a little bit of pleasure. Anyway, regardless of that, let's just go ahead and just make this happen. Listen, Crispy Bomb, he does his stuff on Boom in the mornings. Crispy also
Retro
does
Renegades.
the Retro Renegades, and then also he might be drunk, plastered, he might be dead. Regardless of that,
Oh, damn.
if he is, I guess him rest in peace. But you know what I'm saying? He can play the hell out of some Gears of War. I would tell anybody to challenge him in Gears. He might whoop your ass. Anyway, shout out to Crispy.
Nice. And let's see. Well, Predator, one of our panel members, he passed out or something like that. Man, hopefully you're still around. What do you got for us, bro? Really? Really?
They clocked out, dude.
I'm Predator. I'm pregnant. K-Mega's over here messing with my wife. I'm upset. My car got dinged up because of everything. Listen, this is the only thing I can do. I can submit. I'm a soldier, but K-Mega is the king. All I can tell you right now is that you need to listen to GRG tomorrow night and listen to the next podcast, because that's all that we do right here. And I'm just waiting for somebody to hit me up and say, Fred, can you come on our show? Good night. Peace. Hey, don't call K-Mega. Don't call K-Mega right now, honey. Do not. Don't do that while we're live on the show.
Forgot about his OnlyFans, bro.
Oh, and my OnlyFans, listen.
Definitely support it.
Yeah, definitely support my OnlyFans. It's Chocolate Thunder Deliciously over here. That's the name. You don't know what you're gonna get over here. We out.
Come on, K-Mega.
No. All right, Predator. And on that note,
Yes.
next on the list, the man who has been with me from the beginning, helped me plan out this show when we decided we were gonna do something different. Yo, one thing I gotta say, K-Mega, doesn't it make you kind of proud? Like we were the first in the community to come out with gameplay, and you look around now, and that's what you see.
Oh,
man.
so many. Yeah.
Like I feel like a proud parent right now. Like a bunch of shows out there kind of graduated on the visual aspect, but K-Mega, what you got GRG coming tomorrow. You already have RG Viper letting people know that they need to hit up the super chat when they go check out.
Hit that super
GRG
chat,
tomorrow.
man. I mean, listen. Like I was on RDX Tuesday, and I really understood
You guys hear me?
Oh, yeah, we hear you now. Okay, good. What's going on, man?
Shit, I was trying
it's
to
Chocolate
talk
Thunder.
about you fuck ass motherfucker. I heard you on the podcast. I left a little super. I left a message right there for you too.
It's got to be one of the craziest endings to a show ever
Oh,
on this show.
totally, man.
Go ahead, Brad.
Everything K-Mega said was right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right. What was it, Chocolate Thunder? Was it Chocolate Thunder?
Well, I left my OnlyFans right there in the chat for everybody.
Oh, yeah, Chocolate Thunder Rising. What was it? What was it?
It's right there. Just read it.
It's muted. I don't know what it is. This is mute.
No, it's not muted. It's right there. Everybody else can see it.
Where is it at? I don't see
Oh,
it.
here. Let me put it back in there for you. Just
Put it back in there so I can read it.
Okay, hold on. Just give Daddy a second.
Yo, this isn't sounding right, man, at all.
There it is. There you go.
Okay. All right, hold
I
on.
don't see anything.
Yeah. Did you mute me too?
No, I didn't. No, I don't see it. But hold on, let me hear it read.
know.
Let me hear it read
It's-
thing.
It's fine. Somebody can read it. I mean,
Yeah, it was muted. I don't know. You just need to read it, bastard. What was it? What did it say?
look, my OnlyFans is KMegasWifeLovesTexasCock.com.
Wow!
Yeah!
I'm gonna wake her ass up right now. Like,
That's
helpful. What's going on here?
You been to Texas?
My
What you
favorite
doing there?
OnlyFans ever, right there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna look that shit up too.
I know they're really gonna look that up. I knew K-Mac was a fraud. His wife is over here. Okay, anyway, whatever.
Daddy Dark donates to that fucking OnlyFans every night.
Every night. That's how it works.
The thirst is real.
I don't even know what to say right now. But,
I don't even know either. I don't know.
You were on your outro, K-Mega.
You know what I'm saying? There used to be a scroll, but it's going to be quick. Thank you. Check out the GRG podcast at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. It's GMT time, 2 a.m. So if you late night owls like me, just go ahead and check us out. Also, man, really want to thank our guests, man. Yeah, you are very talented. I mean, mean, I understand why Fun Speculation and them have you on.
Thank
You
sir.
guys, yeah, you guys doing a good job for the community, man. And then listen, there's plenty of ears for everybody to listen to. And that's the thing of it, is that, you know what I'm saying, listen, regardless of what time that we all come on, but it's just like every quality content is quality content. So I hope everybody will support not only GRG, but go support the Ultimate Podcast as well. You know what I'm saying? And thank you guys for coming checking us out for 6 years. I told Dealer that. I said, look, man, we're the longest podcast running. There's no podcast that ran as long as the next podcast. He said, damn, 6 years. I said, 6 years strong, fucker. And he said, he was like, I can't touch that. I said, you can be the biggest podcast. You can be the biggest Xbox Central podcast, but you ain't the longest, baby. And he says, I can't touch that. So anyway, regardless of that, man, thank you. It's been a pleasure always. Xbox is one of my best friends, man. I mean, regardless if I give him shit, but
That's
yeah,
what
man,
best friends do, brother.
That's what best friends do. You know what I'm saying? The Devin the Gamer will be back here on the let me hit this map. Okay. We're here on the 4th, and we'll have a special guest. We'll have a developer coming on.
May the 4th?
Yes, May the 4th.
Oh, for the first time, that show's going to have a developer on.
Yeah. Oh, yes. So for the very first time, it will be two developers, and then it'll be a gamer. So it will be the first time that we've ever had a guest. So come check us out, man. It will be first aired on Don's Twitch channel, which is Don_KTR. And I will put it on my channel, KMega45, and then of course we put it on Spotify, we put it on all of that stuff, so iHeartRadio, all that. And I appreciate all you guys who's been listening and checking us out. I really do appreciate that. And then of course, like I said, the GRG podcast comes every Friday night, and then Fight Night Sunday. If you are a person that is in late night owl, we do this shit all night long. We do not play games when it comes to fighters. And every Friday night, we usually try to do it early, but sometimes it just don't happen that way because Sir X-Man got to eat and real late at night. I don't get it. But regardless, Fight Night Sunday, where we play all different types of fighters. Yeah. Fight Night Sunday, we play fighters every Sunday night, and it doesn't matter. We play anything from Jump Force to Street Fighter to damn Tekken to Mortal Kombat Power Rangers. It doesn't matter to Soul Calibur, anything and everything. So come and check us out on my channel and also on Twitch. My channel KMega405 and also on Twitch KMega405. So come and check us out, man. Thank you guys for the support, man. God bless y'all, man. Thank you guys for me being here, just talking this shit, just doing this stuff. It's really good, man. Whatever. Shut your mouth. Anyway, all right, man. See y'all. Peace.
Nice. And again, shout out to the chat. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We are here every Thursday at 8 p.m., which of course is prime time. So if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe to the channel. If you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, I don't know what you are waiting for. Were you not entertained? This was one of, I really liked doing this show tonight. It was a lot of fun, and I love being able to give you guys content, entertainment, gaming news, thoughts, and opinions. It's what we do over here on this channel, so definitely hit that subscribe button. But until next week, you guys have a great night. We will see you next week for the next podcast. Later.
Peace. Hey, I didn't know I was into blondes until Fred's wife stepped into the game. Thank you.
K-Mega was spot on too. I loved it.
Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. And you're tuned in to Next Podcast. Now, wake me when you need me.